Hello guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. All this story would develop after Goku and Vegeta have defeated on 2 occasions. All the warriors were very worried about the future of Trunks. However, in all of them, a doubt and hatred would happen. Knowing that all this was happening because of Goku, after a while where Goku and Vegeta had trained a little, Vegeta had increased his power in a great way, while Goku had learned the Mafuba. When they all returned to the future, they started again with their great battle. However, this time Trunks managed to successfully seal Zamasu, where Goku and Vegeta were only facing Black after 35 minutes of battle. Black would be in terrible condition and was not able to continue with the battle. That's what you get for wanting to destroy all the mortals! They are, Goku. You give your life for them, but in one occasion that'll lead to your death. Don't make me laugh. They're my friends. They would never do something like that to me. However, at that precise moment, Vegeta would charge a small sphere of energy, which was directed towards Black, but at that instant, Vegeta would turn quickly and Goku would be without guard. He would be pierced, falling badly wounded to the ground. Black would be very surprised to realize what the Prince of the Saiyans had done. Vegeta, what the hell are you supposed to be doing? Kakarot, this is the good for our timeline and for the good of the 12 universes. Your ability to get us into trouble is impressive, and we can't allow this. That's what I mean, Goku. The mortals are despicable beings who will betray you when they have the slightest opportunity. Trunks will return to our timeline, while you'll be locked in the time room for this era. Sorry, Kakarot. Vegeta quickly took Black and Goku and went to the temple of Kami-sama, which was a little destroyed, but this time room was still intact. Vegeta! Don't do this! If you lock me in this place, I swear I'll continue with the zero death plan myself. Damn insect, I'll never be able to leave this place. Vegeta at the moment was throwing him into the time room. He would destroy the entrance, and at that very moment, Vegeta would increase his power to the limit. Even his muscles would grow too much. If I use this power in battle, I would lose irretrievably, since my muscles are so big they'd make me slow. But the power is amazing, and this is enough. Vegeta would launch a great attack to the dimension. That attack was special. That's right, Vegeta, being much smarter than Goku, was able to master his power to create a barrier around the entire realm of everything. This'll be enough, since you'll have to destroy the same dimension of the time room in my seal. Now, Trunks, let's get back to your new home. Vegeta and Trunks would return thanks to the time machine. When they arrived, everyone would ask Goku. At that moment, Vegeta and Trunks began to explain everything that happened. At the beginning, all of Goku's friends would be a little angry. However, they knew it was the right thing to do and everyone would accept it. However, a much bigger problem was approaching. Meanwhile, in the future of Trunks, more specifically in the time room, Goku and Black were still on the verge of death. Goku would take out one of the seeds that Piccolo had given him from his attire, recovering all his powers quickly, and at that moment he'd observe Black. One thing you're right about is that all mortals are trash. I gave my life for them. So now Kakarot and Black will be the ones to execute the Zero Human plan. Goku would throw a seed to Black in the same way. Black at that moment of eating it would heal all his wounds, but just like Son Goku, he had obtained an incredible Zenkai. So now that you're with me, what's the first thing we'll do, oh Goku? First of all, stop calling me Goku. My real Saiyan name is Kakarot. And second of all, we'll train to be able to take out all those bastards. Okay, Kakarot, but remember, this time not only mortals are our enemies. If we go back to your timeline, all the gods will turn against us. I know, Black. For that very reason, we must train in this place. Vegeta left us in the perfect place to increase our power, so we must make the most of it. I understand, Kakarot. Then that's what we'll do. But how will we defeat all the gods and angels if they get in our way?
First, we must increase our power to the limit. When our powers no longer increases in the same way, we'll call the king of all Zeno-sama.
The king of everything, Zeno-sama? He'll wipe us out in an instant. And another matter, what do you plan to call him? We can't leave this place.
At that moment, Kakarot would show him the button that Zeno-sama had given him in his timeline.
Zeno-sama, being like a child, will be very easy to manipulate, so we won't be a problem. When we have manipulated him, we'll have the king himself train us.
Black would be a little surprised to hear Kakarot's plan.
What will happen when we're done with our training?
That's more than obvious. We'll kill the dwarf. We'll get out of this damn place and we'll start our revenge against all those bastards.
Black at that moment would understand all of Kakarot's plan, and without wasting any time, both began to train in an incredible way, with the intention of increasing their powers in a fast and safe way. Meanwhile, in the past, Beerus and Whis had arrived to planet Earth, because the King of Everything had requested an exhibition tournament.
Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, let's go to the exhibition tournament, since you'll be facing Universe 9.
At that moment, a tense atmosphere fell all over the planet Earth. That's right, no one present knew how to tell him what happened with Son Goku. At that moment, Whis would notice the presence of Trunks, however not the presence of Lord Goku.
Well, apparently something very serious has happened, as I can tell Mr. Goku is not in the entire Universe 7.
At that moment, Beerus would be very astonished by Whis' words. At the moment of asking for an explanation, he was furious and would raise a part of his Hawkeye energy, and at the same instant, Vegeta would step in front of everyone, explaining to Beerus everything they had done with the Saiyan Goku.
What did you do? This is something very difficult to assimilate. The same friends of Mr. Goku for whom Mr. Goku gave his life.
Mr. Beerus, Whis, please understand that Kakarot's insect only brought misfortune. Because of him, the Tournament of Power was organized.
At that moment, Beerus and Whis would remain silent, knowing that what the Saiyan Vegeta had said was true.
This is no time to argue. In that case, Vegeta, Trunks, and Majin Buu, you will be the representatives of Universe 7 in this exhibition tournament.
At that moment, everyone went to the planet of the Supreme Kaioken to arrive quickly to the place where Daishoken was selected. However, Kai was a little surprised because he did not observe Goku. At the moment they arrived, Daishoken would begin with the explanation of the rules of the Tournament of Strength. The battles in this situation would be Majin Buu in the first battle, Trunks in the second battle, while Vegeta in the third battle. At the end of the battle, the time Toppo would not jump to the platform as he did not consider Vegeta worthy, since he did not use the Super Saiyan Blue.
Universe 7 takes the victory of this tournament. In this instant, I'll explain the rules of the Tournament of Power.
Daishoken would explain all the rules that were known. However, this time, the time would be 1 month. That's right, the Warriors had 1 month to prepare for the Tournament of Power. All the gods returned to their universes, and each of them began to train their most powerful warriors. Meanwhile, in the future, Kakarot and Black had already raised their power in an impressive way. However, at that time, Kakarot was becoming much more evil, being betrayed. His true Saiyan part had awakened, so this was much more cold and intelligent.
If the Super Saiyan God was at the base state, and the Super Saiyan Blue in a nutshell is the Super Saiyan 1, we can reach the other variants of the Super Saiyan.
I don't know if that's correct, because in the divine world, the power scales are a little different from what we know.
We don't lose anything trying, so we'll take our bodies to the limit. You don't know how much I hope to end the life of Vegeta's insect. The new Saiyan Prince will be me.
Kakarot and Black would continue with their rigorous training, which consisted of achieving that their body resists all the possible energy load. To achieve this, they had to reach a physical that hardly a Saiyan could reach. However, both continued forward by the desire for revenge that motivated them. After spending approximately 3 years in that place, Black and Kakarot were able to reach Phase 2 of their transformations.
This power is incredible. I'm sure that with this power, no one will be able to face us. They won't be able to fight us.
Don't get impatient, Black. When it'll reach the better of the Super Saiyan Phase 3, not to take risks. When we have reached that form and our power hasn't increased as it's currently doing, it'll be time to call the King of Everything.
I don't believe that any god or angel will be able to face us with the power we have now.
Kakarot would, at that moment, return to observe him with a serious look, which would leave Black trembling, which would again train and would say to himself,
Kakarot's power and mine are similar. I don't know why I'm so afraid of him. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Vegeta, Trunks, and all the warriors were having a great training with the god Beerus and his angel Whis. That's right, no one wanted to lose, and knowing that they did not have Son Goku, they focused on the Saiyans, which increased their power in an impressive way.
Mr. Vegeta, as I explained, now you are able to dominate your destructive power. With that power, you have a maximum defense and attack.
Thank you very much, Whis. With this power, no one will be able to face me.
But Vegeta was not the only one who had increased his battle power, since Trunks had achieved the Super Saiyan God while Gohan was able to reach the Beast Mode, when Beerus threatened to end the life of his daughter. I can see that everyone has increased their power in a surprising way. I'm surprised. There's still 15 days left, in which we will increase a little bit more. We'll not let Universe 7 disappear. I'll even give my life.
All the other warriors continued training, and at the moment of increasing their powers, lightning, mountains, fire spheres, everything seemed a complete chaos. Returning to the room of time, Kakarot and Black would continue training in the same way. To become much more powerful, after one more year, Kakarot and Black had strengthened their body in a great way. At that moment, Black felt ready to reach the Super Saiyan Phase 3 because he didn't want to stay behind Kakarot, who had reached it 5 months ago. Black began to increase his power in a great way, making everything around him tremble. And in the same way as the Saiyans, his power destroyed everything around him. So Black had reached the Super Saiyan Phase 3 Rose. Black's power continued to increase in a surprising way. The power he was releasing was so much that even the barrier that Vegeta had created had been destroyed. The entire planet Earth began to cause disasters, as if a true god had come to that place. At that moment, Black had finished his transformation, observing him in the powerful Super Saiyan Rose Phase 3. The power was releasing was incredible. Kakarot, who had already reached the transformation 6 months ago, he was only dominating the energy wear. That's right, Kakarot was only dominating his new transformation. Oh yeah, I've had enough power to even eliminate the barrier of that damn Vegeta. Now I'm ready. Kakarot, a little annoyed because every time Black reached a new transformation he thought he could defeat any being, Kakarot would stand in front of him.
If you are so prepared, that's fine. If you manage to defeat me, I'll call Zeno-sama right now and we'll start with the new training.
Black's body warned him not to attack, however, Black would not pay attention to his instincts, throwing himself against Kakarot, which dodged his blows with extreme ease. Black, furious because Kakarot was only playing with him and only dodged and blocked his blows, furious, would begin to attack with much more speed. However, his power was not enough. Damn it, Kakarot! If you have the power to hit me, do it!
Oh, Black, if that's what you want, I'll do it.
Black at that moment would be hit by a strong blow, however, it had really been an airwave. That's right, the power of the blow of Kakarot had been so much that his fist had created a blast of air that almost knocked out Black. Kakarot at that moment began to fight against Black, but unlike Black was that Kakarot was only using one of his arms. And this made Black more and more enraged, and due to the anger, he didn't fight in an intelligent way, leaving several neglected points, which Kakarot took advantage of to do great damage. After approximately 12 hours of battle, in which Kakarot had taken them as a warm-up, Black was very hurt because he had used all his power and he had not been able to do anything.
How are you so powerful if we have the same body? It's true! We have the same body, but one thing that Vegeta's insect was right about is that you don't have the Saiyan cells in your soul, or rather in your spirit.
That has nothing to do with it. Since all the Saiyan cells are in the body, they're not in the soul or spirit, as you say. You're wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong, but the truth is that only I'm able to get 100% out of my body, but I'll teach you to master it as if it were your own.
At that moment, Black would fall out of combat. However, this was with a smile. To achieve the Super Saiyan Rose Phase 3, Kakarot would take him to one of the beds, which had the room, and let him rest, and at that time, Kakarot would continue training. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, there were only 7 days left for the Tournament of Power to begin. However, the Universe 7 had increased its power in an amazing way. That's right, the power that they had obtained had been so much that even Beerus and Whis would be surprised, since the power of Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, and Frieza had grown in such an amazing way. that even for Trunks, the other three were able to defeat the god Beerus, and even Vegeta and Frieza fighting together were able to force Whis to use 45% of all his power. And that was a beastly, since Whis was a guardian angel. Everyone has increased the power in a surprising way. I was shocked. With the great team, no one will be able to face Universe 7. At this moment, I would love for that dirty Saiyan Goku to be here to tear him to pieces with my bare hands. I have finally overcome the power of Kakarot's insect. Now, I am the most powerful Saiyan of all the existing universes. In these last 7 days, you can do whatever you want. Perfect for some technique, continue training, or spend time with your family. Let's continue training. When the power of tournament is over, I can go with them because if we lose, we'll all be eliminated. What a great determination, Vegeta. You leave me surprised. Now, you are my best warrior. You've been able to defeat Super Son Goku. The Universe 7 is in your hands. At that moment, everyone started their training again, which consisted in dominating their internal energy as well as their emotions, and at that moment, some rocks of all that place would rise, and lightning would fall all over that place. All the warriors were meditating for approximately 3 days. Meanwhile, in the realm of nothingness, Daishinkan was building the platform of the Tournament of Power. However, this was from one moment to the other would wonder, Universe 7 in the exhibition tournament did not bring Lord Goku. How strange. As I understood, he was the most powerful warrior in that universe. Meanwhile, in the time room, Black had already woken up and was training in the same way. After spending 3 years inside, Black and Kakarot had already mastered their transformation completely, so both were ready to start their new training. At that moment, Kakarot would press Zeno-sama's button, making him appear in the time room a little confused. Huh? You come from another timeline. That's a felony in my multiverse. I know, Zeno-sama, but we've been trapped here for that reason. I was hoping that you could give us an increase of our powers to go back to our time, please. That's okay. I don't have anything else fun to do anyway, so we better start when you're ready. We're always ready. Well then, I hope you're ready because with my training, you'll want to die! That moment, Kakarot was about to say something about it, however, an oppressive pressure would fall all over that place. That's right, the power of Zeno-sama seemed to crush them. Some parts of their bodies were more affected, even their heart began to pump much more blood to be able to recover all the lost blood. The power of Zeno-sama even made them both fall to the ground, returning to their base state. What the hell is this pressure? I thought I was physically strong enough to withstand it. I can't move a single finger. I feel like it's breaking all my bones. This can't be happening. If with a pressure of 5% of my power you're not able to move, then you're not worthy to receive my training. Black and Kakarot were surprised to know that the pressure they felt was only 5% of the total power of Zeno-sama. Kakarot, feeling humiliated, said to himself, If I access the Super Saiyan Blue Phase 3, I won't be able to do anything. But if I access the Super Saiyan God that possesses regeneration, I'll be able to do something about it. Kakarot at that moment would pass to the Super Saiyan God, however he was still unable to stand up. But after a few more minutes, Kakarot was able to stand up. However, his whole body was trembling. This is incredible. One was able to stand up and the other is simply a worm that can't do anything. Black with those words would pass to the Super Saiyan Rose Phase 1, and that was the one that consumed less energy and the one that was better controlled. Black after approximately 3 hours was able to stand up. And that's right, Black was only able to stand up for only 7 seconds, and at that moment he'd fall to the ground again. That's enough. From tomorrow, we'll start with this hell. Kakarot and Black rested for the day. As they began their training, Zeno-sama had created multiple replicas of Black. I've created multiple replicas. When you're able to defeat them, we'll go on to new training. But don't be confident as I've given you part of my power. Kakarot and Black would begin to fight with their respective replicas, realizing that even in their most powerful transformation, they were not able to do anything to those replicas. Meanwhile, on Beerus' planet, they had already finished their meditation. At the moment, Beerus would approach everyone, but especially Vegeta and Frieza. I want to observe the maximum of your powers, so you start, Vegeta. Don't hold back. As you command, Beerus-sama. I'll leave nothing unguarded. Vegeta at that moment would begin to increase his power in such an amazing way that even the entire universe of 7 would begin to tremble. Vegeta's ki was overwhelming those present except Frieza. At that moment of a great wave of purple energy, Vegeta would be observed in his Ultra Ego phase. This is my power, Beerus-sama.
Your power is even more greater than mine, but if I transform, I would still be able to defeat you. But excellent level. Now you, Frieza.
Vegeta would remain a little thoughtful since he didn't know that the God Destroyer Beerus had a transformation. At that moment, Frieza, like Vegeta, would begin to raise his power, making the whole planet tremble. Lightning and fireballs fell all around him. That's right, his power was even a little higher than Vegeta's. In the transformation, from a curtain of smoke could be seen Black Frieza.
This is all my power, Mr. Beerus, and my transformation I'm able to master 100%. And not like the last time I didn't master my golden state. I think it's excellent now, yes. You're able to do whatever you want in these 4 remaining days. I'm sure that Universe 7 will be the winner.
Beerus was very sure of being the winner, however, in all the other universes, all their warriors were also training. Especially in Universe 11, Jiren and Toppo had received a great training by the Daisy Angel. No one will be able to defeat Universe 11. The power of Jiren and Toppo even surpasses me. I doubt that any other universe has 2 more powerful warriors.
Do not trust Mr. Vermouth, because we could get a big surprise.
Returning to Universe 7 on Earth, everyone is gathered where Bulma had created a great banquet for the Tournament of Power.
I'm sure that all of you will be victorious and return safe and sound.
You can take it for granted, woman. No one will be able to defeat the Prince of the Saiyans. Meanwhile, in the time room, Black and Kakarot were able to defeat the replicas that Zeno-sama created, and every 2 weeks they got used to their power. After 5 more years, the power of Black and Kakarot had increased in a great way, but they had not achieved any other transformation. Now that they have the physique as hard as diamond, the resistance of their body is something that any warrior could find difficult to achieve. It's time to teach them the Super Saiyan Phase 4.
Super Saiyan Phase 4?
Is there such a transformation? At that moment, Zeno-sama would throw a sphere of energy to the sky, and this would create a great explosion, since Zeno-sama did not control its power. Yeah. That's right, Zeno-sama had thrown a great wave of white energy to the ground that was assimilated to the moon. Nevertheless, a great explosion would be created by all that place. At the moment that everything was dissipated, Black and Kakarot would observe the moon filament. In that instant, both began to transform into 2 gigantic Uzarus. At the moment, Zeno-sama would say to himself, "So you've achieved it. I hope you reach the transformation of Super Saiyan Phase 4 when you get all that majestic power. I'll absorb you." That's right, the Zeno-sama of the future was much more evil than the Zeno-sama of the past, and the only thing he wanted was the power beyond a king of everything. Zeno-sama watched as everything around him trembled, and various spheres of energy destroyed the whole place. I, as the king of everything, I give you the ability, divine control. At that moment, a tiny ray came out of Zeno-sama's finger towards Black and Kakarot, who were able to regain consciousness, managing to control all that power. What happened? Why does my body feel so much bigger?
So, we've transformed into Zarus.
At that moment, both began to transform into Super Saiyan Phase 4. Kakarot had accessed the Super Saiyan Phase 4 Blue, while Black to his Rose state. At that moment, the whole sky of the dimension began to have rays, and at that moment, both subjects would appear with their new transformations, leaving Zeno-sama surprised. The power they gave off is impressive. They even surpassed the power of Daishinken. They're still no match for me. I'd better finish them now that I can. However, Zeno-sama was not the only one who planned to finish them off, since at that moment Kakarot already wished to end Zeno-sama's life by communicating telepathically with Black.
Now that we've obtained all this power, we're ready to finish with this dwarf. So get ready, at the slightest opportunity, we'll do it.
Don't you think it's too soon? We must master all this power.
We could do that on our own, since that miserable dwarf also wants to finish us off.
What do you say? Why do you think that? He has been training us.
As far as I can tell, what he wants is to take our powers. Since his ki power is mixed with the Guardian Angels, there's no other explanation.
That's right, Kakarot, by leaving his kind side, had become much more intelligent and cold, not letting anything go unnoticed. At that moment, Zeno-sama would approach them. Congratulations! You've reached Super Saiyan Phase 4. Now just master your power. That is essential for your ki, as it's not so heavy and have better agility in battles. Black and Kakarot began to train. Zeno-sama was also looking for the opportunity to finish with one of them in one blow or leave them on the verge of death, because if being joined together they would be a real problem. At the end of their training, both were a little exhausted, or that was what Zeno-sama believed, since both subjects were also reserving energy for an unexpected attack. At that very moment, Zeno-sama would launch an attack. It is now, mere mortals, I'll keep your powers! Zeno-sama would direct a powerful blow to Black, who did not have the same power as Kakarot. Since this one was a little weaker, however, he was surprised when Black had increased his power from one moment to another, pushing him away with the explosion of his ki. So you really wanted to finish with all of us. You're a bastard. You never wanted to help us increase our power. You only wanted us to be part of you. There's no point in hiding my intentions. You're right. I just wanted you to become more powerful than take your power for myself.
Too bad that won't be possible, because now we're capable of entering your miserable life.
Don't make me laugh, you fucking mortal. They must have no energy since they just finished their training, so you're not able to do anything against me.
Why don't you check for yourself, if we can't do anything back?
Zeno-sama, furious, would throw himself against Kakarot and Black, but to his surprise, both released a power even greater than Zeno-sama knew. That's right, the power of both had been so much that it would leave even Zeno-sama surprised. I can't be. This hasn't been happening. I've trained those damn monsters. I agreed to end my life. Those Saiyans just like me from the beginning through to the end of my life. At that moment, Black and Kakarot threw themselves against Zeno-sama, who in spite of being a king of everything was not able to do anything. That's right, Zeno-sama seemed to be a simple insect. The power of Black Kakarot hid was even so great that it surpassed the power of a king of everything. And they were capable of facing 3 Zeno-samas at the same time. After Black and Kakarot had humiliated him in the worst way, they had left him very badly injured on the floor.
So you call yourself a king of everything? You've bitten the dust more times than I can remember. You're nothing more than a simple insect.
We're the only true ones to be called the kings of all, not a simple weakling like you, who doesn't even know how to rule the universes. Damn you! I should never have trusted such cursed subjects as you. I should have absorbed you from the beginning, the worst creation in all existence. Well, a simple creation will finish the king of everything. How funny, don't you think? In that instant, Black and Kakarot would touch the body of Zeno-sama, starting to devour all his spiritual chi. All that power was entering the body of Kakarot and Black. That's right, their bodies seemed to fill with energy. The screams of Zeno-sama were chilling. Zeno-sama at that moment regretted having finished with the lives of all the angels, since they also felt all this agony. At the moment that Zeno-sama was without power, they stopped absorbing energy. At that moment, the power of both Saiyans had increased in an incredible way. That's right, the power of both subjects already surpassed the power of a king altogether. This power is amazing. We must control it, and we'll finally start with what we've been wishing for a long time. At that moment, Kakarot would charge a sphere of energy, throwing it to the weakened Zeno-sama, finishing with the life of this one and not leaving any trace.
You're right, Black. Let's master all this power, and we'll finally finish with all those bastards.
Kakarot and Black began to control all the power they had absorbed from Zeno-sama. Meanwhile, on the planet of Earth in the past, there was one day left for the Tournament of Power, in which everyone was ready. So, Universe 7 would look very confident in taking the victory. The next day, the big moment had come. The members of Universe 7 would be Frieza, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, Master Roshi, Krillin, Tenshinhan, and androids 17 and 18. That's right, all these warriors would be the representatives of Universe 7.
Well, I hope you're ready, because in 5 minutes the High Priest will teleport us to the realm of nothingness.
I trust you. You have the necessary power, so you can do it. At that moment, all the warriors would be teleported to the realm of nothingness, and at the moment of arriving, not so much had happened in which all the universes would begin to arrive. At the moment of arriving, the Universe 11, all the warriors gave off an amazing power, leaving surprised all the other gods and participants of the tournament. At that moment, At the top of the hole, the Great Priest would make an appearance.
Thank you all for coming. The rules that I explained in the Tournament of Strength are still maintained, so the best universe will win. Start!
In that moment, all the warriors were launched against everyone. That's right, the Tournament of Power had begun. Meanwhile, in the Room of Time, after that year, Black and Kakarot had been able to dominate all that heavy power.
It's time, Kakarot. We're able to powerfully be enough.
I agree with you, Black. It's time to pay those bastards a visit.
Black would raise his power a little, being able to open a dimension, through which Black and Kakarot would leave. At the moment of leaving, Black would use his time ring, creating a space rift. But unlike before, Black, to overcome the power of a king of everything, had the ability to stay in that place as long as he wished, and would not be dragged by the space-time. Black and Kakarot would arrive to planet Earth, observing everything. At the moment, Bulma noticed two subjects. She'd panic.
But if it's Goku and Black, aren't you two supposed to be trapped? So you Bulma knew that Vegeta's insect did it to me, and you agreed. Now because of that act, I'm gonna wipe out this whole miserable planet.
Bulma would not believe what Goku would say, since she knew him since he was a child and knew that his behavior was not like that. But her impression was great when she realized that Goku was talking seriously. That's right, the Goku she knew was dead. His heart now possessed evil. Kakarot didn't care about destroying the Earth with a single attack. That's right, the planet Earth at that moment would explode, ending the lives of all mortals. Kakarot and Black searched quickly the entire universe without success.
Damn it! Where the hell are those damned ones?
At that moment, Kakarot would remember the Tournament of Power, and by teleporting to the planet of Beerus, his doubts would be completely solved.
Black, all the gods, angels, and most powerful mortals are in that place that Zeno-sama Daishoken created for the Tournament of Power.
That'll be a problem since we don't know how to get to that place.
Kakarot and Black were in deep thought. However, at that moment, they had been able to feel the power of Zeno-sama. That's right, since they both possessed a key in the same dimension of a king, that they would be able to feel the power of Zeno-sama. Kakarot and Black would use hoods that would cover their entire face, and at that moment, they would teleport. However, both had enough power to disappear their ki completely, and prostrate themselves in a place that was even higher than the High Priest. Observing everything that had happened, at the moment that both subjects had arrived, at the moment no universe had been destroyed. However, the two subjects stared at the entire Universe 7, especially the Saiyan Vegeta, who felt a strong pressure falling on him.
What the hell is happening? I feel a pressure crushing me.
Vegeta, without giving importance, would pass to the Super Saiyan Blue to relieve a little pressure. At that moment, Black, without containing his anger, from above would give a scream.
Prince, good for nothing! You're nothing! Your power is a shame!
At that moment, all the fights had stopped when observing two guys who were at the top of the mountain.
Damn, Worm! What did you say?
What you heard, insect? You're Prince good for nothing!
Vegeta, furious, would launch an attack, giving him a few good blows to Black. However, all the angels realized that although Vegeta's blows would hit, he wasn't hurting him. Vegeta at that moment would realize the power of his opponents, passing the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power, making everything tremble and leaving surprised all the other gods.
If you raise your power, I'll do the same.
At that moment, Black began to increase his power, leaving everyone surprised, even Daishoken. Black's power seemed to have no limits. Black would begin to raise his power in an incredible way, leaving even Daishoken surprised, since the power that was being released was comparable to that of an angel.
Who is that guy? He must not be an ordinary mortal, since his power exceeds by dozens of times the power of a god, being on par with an angel.
At that moment, a pink aura would cross the entire realm of nothingness. At that precise moment, Vegeta would remember Black. However, he did not believe it, knowing that they were in the future, locked in the time room.
I don't know who the hell you are, but your power seems very familiar to an enemy I defeated a few years ago.
So you defeated me, good for nothing, Prince. Do you want me to beat you back the way I beat you last time? I'm your worst nightmare.
Black at that precise moment was able to give him a powerful blow, which would make the Prince of the Saiyans spit blood. Meanwhile, in the stands of the spectators, Beerus had been surprised, since he knew that the power of Vegeta was not weak at all.
Who is that guy? How was he able to bring Vegeta to his knees? Stand up, you bastard. Right now, we'll return the favor for leaving us in that damn room. We'll finish you all off. This can't be happening. You guys are... So you figured it out. That's right, we are Black and Goku, who you left us locked in the time room, and we've come to finish you all off. At that moment, Jiren would approach Black. I don't know what you want, but I won't let you interrupt the tournament of which I'll be the winner. I want to bring back my family, so go away. Black would ignore him, but at that moment, Jiren would direct a powerful blow. However, Kakarot would stand in front of that great blow, stopping it with one hand, but the power had been so much, leaving their faces exposed. But if it's Goku, how is this possible? Wasn't he sealed in the future? Damn it! Black and Lord Goku are back! The power that they have obtained can't be calculated. If Black was able to bring my father to his knees... Beerus! So you know that the traitor Vegeta left me locked in the time room, and you weren't able to do anything. You're a bastard. That wasn't my problem, it's a mortal's business. Goku in that moment, furious, would give a scream, passing into the Super Saiyan Blue Phase 3. With a great blow would send Jiren to fly, and at a great speed, Goku would take Beerus by the head, dragging him all over the platform of the Tournament of Power. Beerus, without being able to do anything, only received such a brutal beating in a matter of seconds. Vegeta, without holding back, would increase his power to the maximum. That's right, Vegeta in that same moment began to increase his power to the max, and Black would observe this, would move away just a little bit. That's right, Prince. Increase your power to the maximum, because I want to crush you when you are using everything you have. Daishoken at that moment would about to launch himself to stop them. However, in the words of Zeno-sama, would take him out of his thoughts. No, Daishoken. This is too much fun. Let everyone face my friend Goku and the being that looks like Goku.
But sir, this is a lousy idea. The power of both guys is incredible, and it seems they're still far from their limits. This could be a lousy idea. Didn't you hear what the king said? Don't contradict him.
Daishoken at that moment would only begin to observe everything that was happening. At that very moment, Vegeta had access to the Ultra Ego dominated 100%.
With this power, I'm much more powerful than a god of destruction, so I can finish you quickly.
All the gods of destruction were very astonished by the power of the Warrior of Universe 7.
Power of that mortal is incredible. The only one who could face him would be Jiren, but despite that, he would have a very difficult battle with that Saiyan. Meanwhile, with the Saiyan Goku and Beerus, Jiren at that moment would enter the battle, giving a strong blow to Goku, which would make Goku release Beerus. I don't know who the hell you are, but the blow you dealt me earlier, I swear I'll return it to you by returning every one of your bones to ashes. I wonder if you can do it. You're a mere mortal with a little power.
Jiren at that moment was furious and would raise his power to the maximum, creating a great stream of fire all around. The Vermouth God of Universe 7 would be surprised when realizing that Jiren released 100% of all his power. However, Jiren's power was not the most surprising, since at that very moment the powerful god among the 12 had access to his transformation, which he had never used, and his destructive energy was shooting everywhere. The most surprised would be Black, since the power of Beerus could not compare with anything to Beerus of his timeline.
Apparently, the power of that god at that time is much more powerful, but it'll not be enough to kill Kakarot. Don't say stupid things. You hadn't had the training with an angel, so you don't know how to master his ki. You're right. We didn't have the training with an angel. We had training with the king of everything from the future, a being much more powerful than the angels. The only one capable of facing us would be Daishoken.
That can't be possible. What you're saying are simple lies.
I don't care what you believe. Even today, you'll cease to exist.
Vegeta, without caring about what Black had told him, would throw himself against him. However, Black dodged all his blows, and that was Black who was dominating the Ultra Instinct. It was that Vegeta's power was very distant from Black's, and even Black was still in Super Saiyan Rose. He still then accessed his Phase 3. Meanwhile, Beerus and Goku would stare at each other, and at that moment, the clash of their fists began to destroy everything around them.
This is unbelievable. Mr. Goku's power has raised so high that he's even able to match Mr. Beerus 100%. I'm much more powerful than Mr. Beerus. I'll kill that damn Saiyan once and for all.
Frieza at that moment would throw a treacherous attack, however Goku would realize it by teleporting quickly and with a strong blow would pierce Frieza, leaving him on the ground badly wounded. Even though Frieza was in his black transformation, he wasn't able to withstand such a blow.
You better go back to hell. Soon I'll send you to Vegeta's trash to keep you company. I hope you don't think of coming back to life.
Goku at that moment, without any mercy, would throw a large sphere of red energy, which would quickly disintegrate him, leaving everyone surprised, including Vegeta, who knew that Kakarot was not like that.
Why are you so surprised? This is normal. The being that gave his life to protect you died. I'm Kakarot, the Annihilator.
The essence of my friend Goku is pure evil. I don't like that. Guards, Daishaken, finish with both beings and don't let their souls go to paradise or hell. I want you to finish with all traces of their existence.
Of course, great Zeno-sama. Whatever you order.
Daishaken would continue to observe everything that was happening. That's right, even the most powerful Daishaken-sama was nervous to witness how Beerus, the most powerful god of all, was not able to do anything against Son Goku. Both Guardians launched themselves against Goku, who was not able to dodge a combo attack, causing him some damage.
Well, apparently all the beings of this era are much more powerful than the beings of the future.
Black would leave Vegeta in terrible condition, even making him return to his base state.
I'm tired of playing with you. It's time for me to end your pathetic life.
Black would begin to charge a large sphere of energy. However, in one leap, he was able to dodge Trunks, who was able to cut him with a sword.
I forgot about you. I thought you had gone to another timeline. But this is perfect. I'll be able to finish you and the Duck Prince.
Trunks, get out of here. You don't have the power to face him. He'll finish you off without even realizing it.
Of course not. I'll become very powerful. I'm able to face this wretch.
But the words of Vegeta had been true, because Black at that moment, with a great blow, would leave him out of combat and would approach Trunks.
As I know, the more the Saiyans get angry, the more their power increases. Let's see how much power you can increase with the death of your pathetic son.
Black at that moment would create a great sword of energy, which would cut the head of Trunks. All the gods and angels were very surprised by what Black had done. At that moment that the head of Trunks was about to fall to the ground, Black would make it ashes along with his body. With a great attack of energy, Vegeta, to witness the death of his son, began to increase his power again in a way so surprising that even would draw the attention of Goku.
So Black ended the life of Trunks Insect. Apparently he helped him to reach a new level.
Vegeta would continue to increase his power, activating the Ultra Ego again. But unlike before, the power that Vegeta emanated was much more destructive and powerful.
That's much more credible. The power of Vegeta by the Fury was able to defeat his Ultra Ego at level 2. The Ultra Ego is a power that depends on the anger, unlike the Ultra Instinct, which is able to calm and peace that the body possesses.
Vegeta, without saying anything about it, would launch himself against Black. Meanwhile, Goku was finishing with both Guardians since he had left Beerus and Jiren very badly wounded, so that they would not be hindrances in the battle.
Damn, the power of those bastards is something big. They're focusing on me to use a little more of my true power.
Simple mortal, you're nothing compared to us. I don't know what happened to you, but you would have stayed in the dimension you were in, and at least you wouldn't have died.
I would have stayed in that place? Well, listen then. You made me furious, and right now I'll finish with each of you.
Goku at that moment increased his power to the max, managing to observe the face of an Ozaru. That's right, Goku was transforming into Super Saiyan 4 Blue. The power that he released was so much that it made the whole kingdom shake out of nowhere.
The power that Son Goku is releasing is amazing. I don't even know if I'd be able to stop it.
The moment Goku finished his transformation, he began to exchange blows with the Guardians. But unlike before, this time it was Goku who was putting them in trouble. Goku's power had soared so much that the Guardians had no chance.
I'm no longer interested in knowing about you, Vegeta. I'll finish you. I'll face Daishaken, who will be a worthy rival.
Black at that moment would take Vegeta by the neck despite having aggressive energy. The energy that Black was using was much more aggressive, managing to disintegrate Vegeta.
I want to continue fighting. You choose. All the angels against me, or a battle with the great priest Daishaken.
Black had finished with the lives of Vegeta and Trunks in a few seconds, while Goku had been able to knock out Jiren along with Beerus, the most powerful god among the 12. Not enough with this, he was able to finish with Frieza. Goku would continue exchanging blows with both Guardians, which were putting him in some trouble. At that moment, Black would repeat again what he had said a few minutes ago.
Would no one be able to face me? Then I'll choose my opponents.
Black at that precise moment had launched himself against all 12 angels. That's right, Black had created a scythe of energy directed at all the angels.
Angels, attack position! Finish with that damn Saiyan.
The 12 Guardian Angels had placed themselves in battle pose to be ready to face Black. At that precise moment, all the angels launched themselves against Black, but to everyone's surprise, Black was dodging each of their blows. However, it was becoming very complicated. At that moment, a big explosion was felt in the whole kingdom out of nowhere. That's right, Goku had created a big explosion to send both Guardians to fly, since Goku was in trouble.
Wow, it seems they're worthy of fighting against 45% of my power.
Goku at that moment increased his power a little more, and at an incredible speed, he had sent them both to fly with a few blows. However, the Guardians would not be left behind.
Duel Divine Annihilator!
At that moment, one of the Guardians sent Goku flying with a great blow, while the other began to charge a great attack, being even more powerful when the second Guardian had increased the destructive power of the attack.
Apparently, they've ended the life of my friend Goku, but it was the best thing for the 12 universes. So the power that he was giving off was negative in its totality.
After the smoke dissipated, everyone was able to observe Goku, who had stopped it with one hand, leaving both Guardians surprised, including Daishinkan.
Son Goku's power is big enough to take on both Guardians. Won't be easy at all to take these guys down.
They've been good opponents, but they're not able to give me a real battle.
Goku at that moment would move at lightning speed, cutting the heads of both Guardians in a matter of seconds. Goku at that moment would appear in front of Daishinkan.
You're the one I want to fight with. I want to see for myself how incredible your power is said to be.
Goku at that moment would direct a great fist to Daishinkan, which was able to stop him. All the gods as well as the angels had rejoiced since their last hope had entered the battlefield. Daishinkan at that moment would grant him a great blow, sending him to fly to hundreds of mountains around him. At that moment that Goku recovered, he would feel a great pain in all his face since that's where Daishinkan had granted him a great blow.
I know it'll be a difficult battle, but I know I'm capable of defeating you, mortal.
We won't know until that fight happens.
Meanwhile, with the battle of Black against the Angels, Black was a little hurt, but on the part of the Angels had already fallen 8 of them, leaving only 4. At that time, Black, to realize the power of Daishinkan even exceeded the power of Daishinkan at that time, Black began to take the battle much more seriously, being able to kill 2 more of them. That's right, Black had finished with a large sphere of energy, but at that moment he noticed that Vados and Whis were still standing.
We won't let you interrupt our father's battle. We know that Mr. Goku's much more powerful than you. If the 2 of you face him, it'll be a problem. You're right. Kakarot's much more powerful than me, but that doesn't mean you won't be able to stop me. Watch this.
Black at that moment began to increase his power in an incredible way. Lightning fell all over the place. That's right, the power of an extremely powerful being had appeared again. Black in that instant had accessed the Super Saiyan Phase 4 Rose, leaving everyone surprised.
Do you think you can face me with this power? I doubt it, since they don't possess the necessary key to make even a scratch on me, and I'll leave them with proof of my power.
Black at that moment would teleport, appearing behind both angels, which were the most powerful. Regardless of this, Black began to humiliate them in an incredible way. Returning to the battle of Goku and Daishinkan, the battle seemed to be very even. However, the power of Daishinkan at every moment was becoming much bigger. While Goku was already using all his power, Daishinkan at that moment in one of his fingers would create a large sphere of energy. At that moment of throwing it, it would become a giant sphere. Goku would try to stop it, but it had become useless. Goku was involved in that great explosion. Black at the moment had been able to end the lives of both angels, and in the same way he was surprised to not feel the key of Kakarot. Daishinkan would return to observe him in an intimidating way, and without mediating words, began to give him a beating to Black.
If Son Goku wasn't able to beat me, you won't be able to do anything to me. Kakarot, are you dead? This is the only beginning of our revenge.
Daishinken, who was massacring Black at that moment, he realized that the whole kingdom from nothing would start to shake in an incredible way. At that moment, a great light would appear in front of everyone, and in the same way, you could see a Goku, which seemed to be in its base state, but something different, with the color of his eyes, which were an intimidating gray. Goku at that moment would observe Daishinken massacring Black, and at a speed that no one was able to observe, he was able to give a great blow, sending Daishinken to fly hundreds of meters back.
Black, are you okay? Get away from here. I'll take care of that bastard.
Kakarot, is that you? How did you get that power? This is unbelievable.
Goku wouldn't say a single word. He just started to give some hits to Daishinken, which this time caused a lot of damage. After an exchange of blows where Daishinken was a little affected, Daishinken decided to increase his power a little more. Balancing the battle a little more, Beerus, who had already recovered thanks to the help of the other gods, was surprised to realize that Son Goku had been able to reach the Ultra Instinct. However, he had not mastered it 100% because at the time of attacking, Goku was still thinking about his movements. Beerus at that moment would observe how Black was recovering his energy.
I must not give time to that other bastard to recover. If he does it, he'll be the end of us all. Even if I have to sacrifice myself for the 12 universes, I'll do it.
Beerus at that very moment would launch an attack against Black, starting to fight in a very even battle. Since Black at the time of fighting with Daishinken had decreased too much with his battle level, not having the overwhelming power of before. Meanwhile with Zeno-sama, this was very nervous to realize that not even Daishinken was able to end the life of Son Goku.
Hell, if I don't do something, that miserable mortal will end my life. I must do something right now. Must not allow him to become more powerful.
The battle between the two continued. However, when Black began to take a little advantage, all the 11 remaining gods had joined the battle.
We're not beings of low power that you could just ignore. We're destroyer gods. Between all of us, we'll finish you off. Thanks, brother. I owe you one.
At that moment, a great energy of destruction was approaching Black. That's right, 6 of the gods had launched that great attack with the intention of ending Black's life once and for all. However, the powerful Black was stopping the great energy in an incredible way. Black at that moment was able to throw it to the sky where it exploded. At that moment, the 12 gods were launched against Black. Although their blows were not so powerful, they were able to do considerable damage by hitting in the same place for a few times.
Damn it, these bastards have finished me off. I can't do anything.
Meanwhile, with Goku, both were much more evenly matched. However, Goku in his mind would listen to his evil side, and his Kakarot would have been manifested.
Goku, it's me, the sadistic, cold, murderous, cruel part of your whole being. I can make you activate 100% of the state you're using.
Goku, while exchanging blows, was communicating with his inner part.
How would you be able to do this? And why would I trust you? You're me, and I'm you. If you die, I'll die too. So what we do is to go back and be a being of one like we were born. Okay, if it makes my power increase, I'll do it, because I have to help Black.
Understood, Son Goku. Energy vein adaptation completed. Union finalized. Ultra Final Instinct. Ultra Perfect Instinct activated.
Goku at that moment began to fill with energy and a brightness that could be observed to Goku, with white hair leaving Daishinken surprised, which had felt the increase of power in Son Goku.
This can't be happening. Son Goku's power had skyrocketed. He even activated the perfect Ultra Instinct. That's practically impossible for a mortal.
Goku at that moment would give a great blow to Daishinken, which would leave him on the ground badly wounded, and would quickly go to where Black was, ending the lives of some gods in one move.
I have to finish with the lives of 7 god destroyers. I guess you could do something about the other 5. Don't defraud me, Black.
Goku at that moment would quickly return to great speed, and with incredible precision would be able to give a beating to Daishinken, which this time was not able to do anything against the Saiyan that had exceeded its limits.
It seems that I have no choice but to invoke the demon god Demigra. If I don't do it, this bastard will kill everyone, including me.
Zeno-sama at that moment began to recite a very old ritual which only Daishinken understood.
Don't do it, Zeno-sama. This Saiyan doesn't kill us, the demon god will. You must bet everything.
My friend Goku's not the same as before.
At that moment, a pentagram would form all over the kingdom out of nowhere. Nothing out of the ordinary is happening. That's right, the powerful Demigra, after millions of years, was just waking up. Goku, without giving it importance, would continue fighting with Daishinken. However, with only 3 minutes of the battle, Goku was about to give one of his final blows, just as Black was about to end the life of the god of Beerus. At that moment, both were dragged to the ground by a pressure which brought everyone to their knees.
What? Why can't you move me?
What's going on? Is this pressure even higher than the pressure of the king at all?
At that moment, everyone would be surprised to observe a strange being.
Gods and Supreme Angel Daishinken, we meet again after millions of years, but this time I'm here to help you, so don't worry.
Demigra would return to observe both subjects, and at that moment, lightning began to fall all over the place as Demigra was increasing his power a little. The power that the demon god was releasing was an incredible power that would astonish everyone.
Damn it, we're dead. The demon god hates divine beings. Millions of years ago we were able to seal it, but the 6 supreme gods gave their lives to achieve it. Oh, apparently I have to eliminate a few ants. Don't worry, Daishinken, I can't attack the beings of the kingdom at all. In order for Zeno-sama to free me, we had to make a blood deal. Does the blood deal of a king of everything even exist? I was not aware that Zeno-sama has enough power to perform such a feat.
I don't care who the hell you are, but if you interfere with my revenge, I'll end your miserable life this very instant.
Simple mortal, measure your words before addressing your superiors. You don't want me to end your pathetic life in seconds.
Goku, having totally united with Kakarot, had a much colder personality, but in the same way, they made him angry much more easily. Goku at that moment would launch himself at a great speed against Demigra. However, Demigra had stopped his blow with only one hand, and with a strong kick he would send him flying all over the combat platform. Black, who was facing Beerus, would realize what had happened, leaving him out of combat quickly.
To kill you would have to be a mercy on you. First we'll make you suffer, but now we must finish with that dam. He has an incredible power.
Black at that moment at an incredible speed that even Daishinken would be difficult to follow, he launched himself at Demigra's attack. At that moment, he'd create an energy sword. However, when Black's sword touched Demigra's aura, it was destroyed into 1,000 pieces.
Is this a child's game? Do you really want to rule all the universes? The only thing we want is to finish with all the beings of the divine world.
Even so, it would have been impossible, since the power of Zeno-sama in his form of combat is comparable to mine, and if he has trained, he must surpass me. Black would be surprised since he didn't know that the king of all possessed a combat form. In that instant, thousands of thoughts passed quickly through his mind.
What the hell? Why didn't the other Zeno-sama use his combat mode?
Demigra at that moment, without letting Black recover from the astonishment, at a great speed would begin to give him a few blows. However, from one moment to another, Goku would rush to Black's aid. Demigra, with the simple power of his eyes, had left him paralyzed.
What do you think about the power of a demon god? This is my visual ability, Eye of Evil.
Goku at that moment, in spite of being with Ultra Instinct, was not able to dodge hundreds of blows that Demigra had attacked him with. At that moment, Goku and Black would both fall to the ground, very badly wounded. Meanwhile, in another multiverse, a beautiful goddess was watching everything that happened. The little Zen has invoked one of the demon gods, but the power he possesses does not compare to what we have sealed. The power of those two subjects can serve us. We do value the beings of great power, but I'll observe a moment more. Goku at that moment would stand up furious since no one had humiliated him in this way, while Black had returned to his base state and was in terrible condition.
I don't care if my body's destroyed by what I'm going to do, but I'll take it to the limit. Kaioken power! Enlarge 20 times!
Goku's power would explode in a few seconds, launching himself against Demigra. But in the same way, he was surprised to see how Demigra had dodged his blow, despite having increased his speed in an incredible way. Goku at that moment would begin to give a rain of blows to Demigra, which only dodged without any effort. However, at that moment, Demigra would begin to attack in the same way, being able to give a few hits to Son Goku, cutting all his ki. That's right, his hits that Demigra was giving to Son Goku were hits with demonic power, which was able to stop the flow of energy for approximately 25 minutes. Being enough time to finish with any warrior, Goku at that moment would fall to the ground and return to his base state. That's right, Goku had been completely defeated.
In spite of being sealed for millions of years, Demigra's power seems to have increased in an incredible way. By that time he didn't use his true power. That's all you could do. You're still mere mortals. Die! Demonic Celestial Iniquitator!
A crimson-red sphere was approaching towards both warriors who were unable to move a single finger.
Damn it! It seems that even after training with the king, we haven't been able to do anything against this guy.
At that moment, the whole place would freeze, as if someone had stopped time.
There is no time, but I ask you, do you want revenge? Come and join our multiverse. We'll take care of making you formidable warriors. I don't want to die without making that damned god suffer. I accept.
I don't want to be left behind, so I also accept.
I think this is perfect. Then at that moment of impact, we'll teleport, and so everyone will believe that they were reduced to simple atoms.
At that moment, everything would return to normal, and the great energy that had impacted, creating a great explosion all over that place. 2 seconds before the attack impacted both subjects, Cirrus had quickly teleported them to her realm.
Wow, my power has been so great that I didn't even leave a trace of those insects. Now that you're done with them, what do you plan to do?
Don't worry, priest. I won't do anything that has to do with destroying universes. I just want to be the most powerful demon in existence.
Demigra, you know what? If you start wrecking the 12 universes, I'll personally take care of you.
I know, Zeno-sama, it's not necessary to repeat it. Demigra at that moment, there would be a portal which, through this one, could observe a place similar to the underworld. Demigra at that moment would disappear, leaving all the others speechless. At that moment, Daishinken would approach Zeno-sama.
My lord, what shall we do with all the angels and the 11 fallen gods? The Tournament of Power has been cancelled. Use the Super Dragon Spheres to bring everyone back to life. Angel, God, Warrior, what has happened is maximum effort. What do you mean by maximum alert, my lord? Son Goku and the guy named Black have been defeated, and from what I could tell, Demigra seems to be afraid of their power. And they also are made the blood deal of a king of everything. The blood deal of a king of all can be annulled. If the being with whom I made it surpasses my power, and Demigra's power is not very far from mine.
Daishinken at that moment had been paralyzed, knowing that if Demigra passed his power of Zeno-sama, this time everyone would die, and there was nothing or no one was able to do to defeat him.
So your idea is to bring to life all the warriors, gods, and angels, to increase their power, and to be able to help in the battle against the demon god Demigra. That's right, Daishinken. The battle against Demigra will be the most destructive battle this multiverse has ever seen. Understand, my lord. At this very moment, I'll summon the Great Dragon.
Daishinken at that moment summons the Super Shenron.
Tell me what I can fulfill as a wish, whichever one you want.
Bring back to life all the beings that died since Goku and Black appeared in the Tournament of Power.
That's a complicated wish, because among them are both of Zeno-sama's guardians, who have incredible power. But I can do it.
At that moment, the dragon would raise the whole realm of nowhere, and the eyes would glow. That's right, at the instant all the gods, angels, and guardians would come back to life.
Great Zeno-sama, we thank you for reviving us.
It seems to be all over, but why do I feel such a tense atmosphere?
Daishinken at that moment started to explain everything that had happened with Son Goku until the arrival of the demon god, who was able to defeat both of them.
And why does he have a worried look on his face, Daishinken-sama?
Because the demon gods are natural enemies of the divine beings. Just like us, the demon god is increasing his power in order to defeat us.
I understand what you are getting at, Father. You want all of us, our gods and warriors of each universe, to increase their power to be able to help in the battle against the demon god Demigra. Or am I wrong?
You're right, Whis. The power of the demon god Demigra, he made it clear to us that he's capable of wiping us out if he just thunders his fingers. So we must increase our powers.
Meanwhile, Vegeta and Frieza were the most furious because despite having trained for so long and taken their bodies to the limit, Son Goku had defeated them without any difficulty, even humiliating them in the worst way possible.
Damn insect, I swear I'll overcome your power and even go to hell to finish you once and for all.
I can't believe that guy with the name Black was able to defeat me, the most powerful god. But Son Goku's power is still unmatched. If the god Demigra defeated him easily, that guy must be a monster.
Meanwhile, in the realm of Multiverse 2, Goku and Black were on the verge of death. At that moment, a great sphere of energy of the golden color began to heal them quickly. After only 3 minutes, they were both 100% healed. Now that you're completely healed, I want you to explain to me why you want to finish with all the divine beings of the multiverse of Zeno-sama.
First of all, thank you very much for saving us. Now, of course, I'll explain to you.
Goku at that moment began to explain everything that had happened on planet Earth since he arrived, until the moment they faced Black and Zamasu in the future. Sirius at that moment would be very thoughtful, knowing that both subjects had been betrayed, especially Goku, who had given his life for all his loved ones. I understand. Then I will help you become much more powerful, but I have to inform you something. If you finish with the King of Everything, Zeno-sama, one of you must be the new King of Everything of Multiverse 4, because if a king dies and nobody takes his place, a megaversal catastrophe can occur.
I understand, but of that, then there's no problem. Both of us be new kings of everything. We'll train the gods not to be scum, but they first must be punished severely.
In that case, let's start with the training beyond a king of the whole. At that moment, a being of a Saiyan race appeared that would appear in front of them.
I'll be the warrior you'll face for the first 6 months. When you're able to defeat me, you'll be able to access the next level.
For a Saiyan, you're too weak. You didn't even raise a little bit of ki.
Goku and Black were again mortally wounded at the same moment, falling to the ground on the verge of death.
Don't look at my ki, since my power is in another dimension which you're still not able to reach.
Goku at that moment would access to Super Saiyan Blue, while Black to Super Saiyan Rose. However, at that moment, Goku would get out of control, expelling much more power. The body of Son Goku was releasing an incredible power, making everything around him tremble. So much would be his power that even the Power Sirius would be interested in the Saiyan. At that moment, Shallot at an incredible speed would try to leave him out of combat, being in vain, since at that moment that his body made contact with the aura of Son Goku, he was seriously wounded. That moment, Black was incredibly surprised, and since he returned to his base state, Goku's body was releasing an incredible negative aura, and every being that touched that energy absorbed his powers. At the same moment, a gigantic Shinigami could be observed. That's right, this is a representation of the supreme power. All that power was entering Goku's body, which had accessed the Ultra Instinct. After a few moments, his hair would turn to a blood red color.
Kakarot! What the hell's wrong with you? Control yourself!
It's useless. The power that Son Goku's body's releasing exceeds anything we've ever seen so far, so it's impossible for him to come to his senses. But Sirius's logic was totally wrong, because at that moment, a great laughter would resound throughout space.
Do you think I'm not able to control this power? I'm Kakarot, the evil version of Son Goku. But when we merge, we're able to share the body.
What do you mean by sharing the body? This can't be happening.
By keeping our consciousness separated for so many years, we were not able to merge 100%. The only thing we could do to use the same body and power is of our counterpart.
Then this is a terrible idea, because if a being as evil as you can use Son Goku's body, it will be chaos not only for Zeno-sama's multiverse, it'll be chaos for all of us.
You're wrong! Even though I'm a destroyer, I'm not capable of destroying the other beings. Something of Goku's uselessness still holds me back, but I'm capable of giving him much greater power and also absorbing all kinds of negative energy. That's why all my power's gone. That's right! With this power, I can absorb all the negative energy and make it part of me. With this form, I also take away his emotions. By this I mean that he's not able to feel fear, empathy, or pain. This is too much like the Ikari forbidden energy, which you need to dominate your inner self to be able to make two beings be able to share the same body. It seems to me something amazing.
But all must not be good news. Why did Goku lose control?
He's not lose control, but by using more power than his body can withstand, the body has left him totally out of combat. So I am who is not able to feel pain or fear. I can control the body and store much more power.
I understand 75% of what you're telling us.
I have understood completely everything. In a few words, if one of you is completely on the verge of death, the other one could go out to the battlefield while the other one recovers. Or am I wrong?
It seems you're a real queen of everything. Your intellectual capacity is impressive. I'm amazed.
I understand that there's no limit, but I have a doubt. Does the negative power have any limit, or is it unlimited?
I can withstand 100 times my current power. That means that for a being to make me explode, he must be able to end the life of a king completely just by thinking about it.
Then in a few words, it's impossible since there's no being with all that power.
But Sirius was very wrong, since in all the multiverses, or even beyond these, there were beings that did not need titles like gods, kings, or priests, but their power was so much that they were capable of ending the life of these without even making any effort.
So, what do you think if we start with the training? Shallot, you train the Saiyan named Black. I will personally train this Saiyan. I want to see how much he's able to withstand the negative energy.
As you order, my lady. Black, I hope you're ready since there's no one to save you.
Black at that moment would get into a battle pose, however he was not able to dodge the hundreds of blows that Shallot was giving him. Black was only able to dodge 2 or maximum 3 blows out of 100 that he received. Meanwhile, in the special planet, Sirius, without giving any warning, would throw a powerful blow to Goku, who with a little difficulty would move at a great speed, taking a little distance.
What the hell? His energy changed to a more aggressive one. It's similar to the negative energy, but I even feel that it's capable of absorbing me. Let's see who's more powerful, your body with 2 beings living in it, or my body which has been able to master the forbidden Ikari power.
Goku would be very surprised to know that a woman had been able to get the power that even a king desires. Flashback when Goku and Black were training in the time room with Zeno-sama. In a moment, Goku would approach.
Zeno-sama, is there a power beyond a king of everything?
Well, the answer's a bit confusing since a king of everything is born with unlimited energy, and we don't have to train to increase our power. But what's supposed to happen if the kings train? Just to that point I want to get. If we kings have all trained, it's said that we're able to master a power called Ikari.
Ikari? What's that power?
Ikari is a power beyond the king of all. If they're able to defeat us, the Ikari power appears on our whole body, controlling it throughout the battle, and giving us a much greater power than we alone can access.
The Ikari power is incredible. I'd love to learn how to master it.
That's what the legends of the other kings of everything tell us. Since to this day, no king of everything's capable of using it. That must be a simple legend or fantasy tales, since it must not be possible for 2 personalities to exist in the same body. We don't know, but there will always be beings that'll surprise us.
And flashback.
So the words of that miserable dwarf were true after all. The Ikari power is a power that goes beyond the normal power of a king at all.
Sirius at that moment, like a true beast, would move at a great speed and would take one of Goku's legs, which he began to crash him through planets, mountains, and stars. Goku, in spite of wanting to absorb the power that Sirius emanated, was not able to do it. Goku, despite wanting to absorb that power, was not able to go so he was freeing himself from one moment to the next, and a little annoyed, they began to exchange blows, which they occurred in a less developed place like Zeno-sama's multiverse. Everything would explode. Meanwhile, with the Battle of Shallot and Black, both were exchanging blows, but Black was in Super Saiyan Phase 4 Rose Furious, as Shallot was fighting with only one of his arms. However, the power was notorious as everything around him was destroyed. Shallot at that time would release much more power, pushing Black away.
That's all for today. You lack power, speed, and stamina. How is that possible that you have all that power? You're able to beat even Demigra.
Do you know Demigra's trash?
Trash? That damn demon god was able to finish this off without even trying.
He's the weakest demon god of the 6 supreme demons that exist. That statement would leave Black shocked to learn that there were 5 demon gods much more powerful than the one they faced. Don't let that affect you, their power's great. The demon gods have trained for millions of years to possess their current power. We've trained for thousands of years, but you have not been cultivating more than 100 years. You'll be great warriors. So in a million years, you'd been able to reach that power. Well then, it's not so impressive after all, since in millions of years, we'll be much more powerful. Exactly. I've only trained for 120,000 years, and I'm able to defeat even the 3rd demon god. The 2nd most powerful demon gods do have an incredible power, but after training for millions of years, they're not that impressive. I understand. They're not that impressive. The next time we see them, we'll finish them with our own hands. Meanwhile, in Zeno-sama's multiverse, Daishinkan was training in the realm of everything, as were all the gods, angels, and warriors of the 12 universes. Damn, the resurgence of the god Demigra is something we didn't count on. Now that we don't have the help of the 6 supreme gods, I don't know if we'll be able to do anything. Meanwhile, on the planet Abyss, everyone was training very hard, but the ones that stood out the most were Frieza, Vegeta, and the god Beerus himself. Damn it! I won't let that wretch Black humiliate me again. I want to bring him back to life to finish him off. Mr. Beerus, currently we can't do that since we are on red alert, and the powerful god Demigra hasn't given any sign of life. That means he's planning something against the divine beings. That damn demon god won't be able to face us, but the one that he leaves surprised is still Kakarot. How's he able to get all that power? How is he able to get out of that damn room? Mr. Goku and Black were able to get out of that dimension because their power was so great they were able to totally eliminate the divine seal that you placed on him. Frieza didn't say anything. He would only continue training since even after so many years of training, he was quickly crushed by the Saiyan. Returning to the battle of Sirius and Goku, they had already spent approximately 15 hours of battle, which both were very wounded, but both would continue exchanging blows without giving up. Sirius, a little more upset, would use more power. However, his body was already feeling the side effects of using it for more than 12 hours of the Ikari. That is, his bones were breaking with every exchange of blows. While Goku, at every moment of the battle, seemed to get used more after a great exchange of blows, both subjects had taken a little distance. How is it possible that you're in better shape than me, if I had been the one who has given you the most blows? Have you forgotten what I've told you? In a few words, you're facing 2 beings. You're right. If I fought alone, I would not be able to move, since your blows have an absurdly incredible power. What do you mean by all this? That's right. Goku, I have fully recovered, and every time you do serious damage, I'm able to heal myself thanks to the fact that Son Goku's already 100%, grants me his regeneration. That's awesome. Sirius at that moment would be out of combat for all the excess energy, and Black in the same way, but at the moment Goku would take control of his body, staying in the perfect Ultra Instinct. That's right, Goku had taken his base state. Thank you very much, Kakarot and Sirius. With this battle, I've learned a lot about my power. I hope you're ready. Our revenge is not over yet. Goku would go to a room in the Kingdom of Hole to leave Sirius, and while she was recovering, Goku would begin to increase his power because the more power he could support, the more power Kakarot would support. Goku would begin to meditate since he wished to dominate 100% of all his power. Meanwhile, with the training of Shallot together with Black, these had taken their training to a new level. Since in the castle of the Queen of All, Cyrus, there was a room which was very different from the Room of Time. Since in this place, the more the warrior has more power, the more pressure he'll exert, making the warrior, no matter how powerful he is, not be able to move freely. While the warrior has more power, the room will exert more pressure, making the warrior, no matter how powerful he is, not be able to move freely. Shallot and Black were training in that place for 34 hours, in which Black, after exchanging of blows, in which he was not able to defeat Shallot, would fall to the ground badly wounded. Damn it! We're in equal conditions, and in spite of that, you're able to defeat me. You don't have to worry about that. You have an incredible power being such a young Kaoshin. How do you know? We're beings that have trained for many more years than you, and it's easy to identify that this body does not belong to you. For that reason, you're not able to release 100% of its capacity, unlike the Saiyan Goku that I can use it to its maximum power.
I understand, but it's all a matter of time, since we're all capable of getting used to someone or something.
You're right, but combining your cells with the Saiyan body will be extremely complicated, but not impossible, and that's what I'm here for.
Is it possible to combine it 100%?
Of course it is. For that very reason, we'll train in this place to take advantage of the time and the pressure it exerts. The pressure will make your ki veins emanate much more power to relax the body a little. And the more it happens, the more the ki and veins will consider your spirit and body as one.
Then we shouldn't waste time. Let's keep training.
Those are the words I like to hear. But in the same way, it's also indispensable to rest so that your body is affected by a big load. Meanwhile, in the multiverse of Zeno-sama, approximately 4 months had already passed. That's right, the time in each multiverse passed in a different way. At that moment, Daishinken would approach the King of Everything.
My lord, it's been 4 months since we have no information from Demigra. We don't know in which universe he is or what he's doing. This is worrying. Demigra has always been known for destroying everything in his path. That it doesn't mean leaves me with hundreds of thoughts.
Meanwhile, in Universe 7, all the warriors had already increased their powers in an incredible way, having too much confidence in defeating Son Goku.
Whis-sama, I beg you, please take me to the hell of the other world to finish with that damn Kakarot. He doesn't want me to exist in hell. I want to eliminate him completely.
Mr. Vegeta, I don't think it's a coherent idea. We can't interfere in that other divine plane.
Whis, all of us will go. I also want Son Goku to cease to exist. Those damn mortals dared to humiliate the entire Universe 7.
This time I will finish off both monkeys. I'll pay them back for everything they did to me.
Whis, along with all the other warriors, were heading quickly to the hell of the other world, and being an angel could access quickly. At the time of arrival, Whis would start looking for Son Goku and Black, failing completely. The expression of Whis at that moment would change to a very serious one.
What's wrong, Whis? It looks like you've seen the same demon.
Mr. Beerus, the son of Son Goku and the guy named Black are not in this world, and I have also searched in Paradise and there's no trace of both guys.
Damn. Means that damn demon must have eliminated them with a destructive attack to destroy their souls.
Those ignorant monkeys have been spared the beating of their lives.
No, that can't be happening. The demon god Demigra didn't use destructive energy. The only option left is...
That's impossible, Whis. They couldn't have stayed alive. The power of that attack was supreme. Not even the king would have been able to survive it.
We must quickly inform the high priest and the king of all Zeno-sama. At that moment, Whis tried to get out of hell. A strong barrier would not allow him to do it.
What's wrong, Whis? We must inform the king of everything as soon as possible.
It wasn't me, Mr. Beerus. An extremely powerful barrier won't let me pass. At that moment, all hell would begin to tremble and a pressure would fall on everyone present, not letting even one finger move.
What is an angel and a god supposed to do in this world? You don't know it's against the rules?
But you're a Saiyan who's opposed the destruction of the Vegeta planet to the very end.
Wow, this is a surprise. Frieza, he's in this place with you.
I don't know who the hell you are, but for this disrespect to a god, I'll annihilate you.
Bardock would move at an impressive speed, putting himself in front of Beerus.
Are you talking to my pathetic god? Don't you know who I am?
Beerus at that moment would recognize the kinship that this Saiyan had with Son Goku.
Are you Son Goku's father?
So you know my son Kakarot. But that's not the point. Thanks to Frieza's insect, he destroyed the planet Vegeta. I've traveled millions of years into the past.
Flashback, at the moment that Frieza destroyed the planet Vegeta, a portal would absorb planet Bardock, which would begin with new adventures. However, had fallen to another multiverse. That's right, Bardock had been received to the multiverse of the goddess Nin. Nin was very surprised to see such a muscular guy despite not having divine power. Nin decided to train him personally. That's right, Bardock was the first Saiyan to be trained by a queen at all. Bardock's power to reach a Saiyan would grow immeasurably, being able to reach all the divine transformations, even reaching the Ultra Instinct. But Bardock was able to take his transformation beyond all its limits, reaching a demonic transformation ending with a demon god in his world.
Bardock, at the time of finishing with the Demon God, his whole body was wrapped in incredible negative energy. But to Bardock's surprise, he was able to dominate all that energy, obtaining his most powerful transformation called the Demonic Super Saiyan, which made all Bardock's hair a blood red color. Bardock, knowing that he didn't belong to that timeline, decided to return for a while, being the protector of all the dead, and the being that wreaked havoc in hell were annihilated by Bardock. End of flashback. Beerus would be surprised by the history of Bardock, however Frieza would be furious, would not mind, launching the attack. In his powerful transformation, Bardock would play along, starting to have a battle, something even with the Demon of Cold. However, after only 5 minutes of battle, Frieza was extremely tired. At that time, Bardock, a big blow would send him to the ground, making him lose his transformation. Vegeta was going to launch the attack, being stopped quickly by Whis.
No, Mr. Vegeta, the power of that Saiyan is even more powerful than the power of Mr. Goku. Even more powerful than that demon god Demigra.
Demigra? Did they fight the weakest demon of all?
Beerus and Whis were astonished to learn that the demon god was the weakest of them all.
For that reason, you have a pathetic battle level. You've not had any confrontation with beings that overwhelm you in power. It'll not give me any satisfaction to finish you off, so get out of here.
Whis would take Frieza, leaving Hell. While they were leaving, Beerus would tremble with fear to know that this could be the end of him.
This has been very dangerous. The power of that being was able to finish us without being able to do anything. That's different from a real powerful one. No matter how many millennia have to pass, we must finish with all of Son Goku's family. They are extremely dangerous.
Back to Shallot and Black's training, both were having a very even battle. That's right, in that time, Black had been able to combine 94% of all his cells with the same body.
You're just short of reaching the same evolution as Son Goku.
Meanwhile, with Goku, he was having a fight with Cirrus. However, Son Goku's power had already left behind, since even Cirrus was using the Ikari, who was not able to hit him with an effective blow. Goku was the only one who hit him the whole battle. At the end of the fight, Cirrus seriously said to herself,
"This warrior is incredible. Thanks to him, I was able to realize that even prodigies like me can be overcome if you have persistence. Cirrus, I think it's time to finish with that damn Zeno-sama. I can't stand knowing that those wretches tried to finish us off. Alright, but you know that you must be the new kings of everything." "Of course, Cirrus. You don't have to worry about that. Black and I'll take care of it."
Goku, at the moment of going to Black's room, Kakarot would take the control of the body, turning into a lightning bolt, moving away from that place quickly. In that same instant, a powerful explosion was able to be observed in all that place.
Hell, if I hadn't reached quickly, that attack could have gotten us badly injured. Thank you, Black. You're being much more powerful to have control of the body. If necessary, use my power, because the guy who attacked us releases an incredible power.
At that moment, Kakarot was able to observe Cirrus, who was very wounded and on the verge of death. Kakarot Furious would return with Cirrus, creating an energy field, which would protect her, and at the same time would give her energy.
"I don't know who you are, but show yourself! I'll finish you. I'll not forgive you for attacking us treacherously."
Very arrogant words, but that doesn't have great power. You're a simple worm compared to my true power. At that moment, a strong aura of fire would be seen all over the place. Kimura, turned into flames, was able to hit Goku with a strong blow, sending him flying. I thought you'd be able to withstand that blow, but I can see that you're nothing more than a mere mortal. No matter how much you train, there'll always be a limit to what you can do. Goku, in that furious moment, would begin to increase his power, accessing his Omni God transformation, leaving Kimura a little surprised. Goku's power could be felt even in the room where Black and Shallot were training.
Kakarot's power's not normal. This is not the training. His body releases much more power than his own body can withstand.
Shallot would begin to tremble at the moment he looked at Kimura, which Black would be able to notice.
I don't know who he is, but he's even capable of making my master tremble with his mere presence.
At that moment, an extremely impressive battle would begin, which Goku was losing in a few exchanges of the blows. The power of that guy was incredible. At that moment, the heart of Black began to ladder with a much greater force. That's right, Black had dominated the power of Son Goku to 99%, being able to release much more power. Black at that moment began to expel an extremely powerful, destroying everything around him.
making the whole kingdom tremble all over.
Black was increasing his power in an equally amazing way, leaving everyone surprised by the power that Black was unleashing. At that moment, a big explosion would be created all over the place, even managing to shake other multiverses, which did not understand what was happening. In the same transformation as Kakarot. That's right, Black had been able to access the Omni state and had combined 100% of all his Saiyan cells. So, Black sensed the danger and was able to combine all his cells with those of Kakarot's body. This power is incredible, and I can't believe all the power that my body has. With this power, we'll be able to face this guy. Black is correct that your power in this transformation exceeds my power by dozens of times, but you shouldn't trust. Kimura is one of the most powerful demon gods. At that moment, after an exchange of blows, Kakarot would fall to the ground a little injured.
Are you wrong, Shallot? Now I'm the most powerful demon god, since I even absorbed all the other demons, keeping their powers and abilities.
Shallot at that moment would be very astonished by Kimura's statement, since what Kimura had done was considered impossible.
No matter how many years of power you've absorbed against us, that won't be enough for you. We have a revenge that we haven't yet realized.
Black at that moment would pounce against Kimura. That's right, Black and Kimura began to exchange blows at an amazing speed, being able to even make all the multiverses tremble. However, the multiverse of Zeno-sama didn't understand what was happening because they weren't able to feel their power, only the annihilation and pressure that emanated.
What the hell's going on? Are two kings of everything fighting? I don't know, my lord, but the power that's felt is incredible, and even I'm not able to comprehend it. I'm sure that it surpasses the power of Demigra.
Meanwhile in Hell, even Bardock had felt all the power emanating from it.
That's the power of Kimura, but apparently it's absorbed the power of all the other demons since I feel the essence of each one of them. This'll be interesting. Bad luck that I cannot intervene in the world of the living.
Bardock would continue observing the battle from a sphere of energy, returning. Kakarot at that moment had recovered, and in the same way he threw himself against Kimura, who was being cornered, as both had a great power. While they were fighting, Shallot would approach towards quickly the king of all Cirrus, holding her quickly and leaving the place so she could recover. At the moment of reaching a safe place, Kimura would take out a very beautiful bottle.
My lady, drink the sacred water. This will make you recover quickly.
No, Shallot. The sacred water is like a life. Leave it for Kakarot or Black.
Cirrus, drink it, and don't worry about us.
Cirrus at that moment would begin to drink all the water at that moment and had recovered all his powers. However, he didn't have the required level to help with this battle, which was out of his hands. The only thing that they could do was wait and pray that both Saiyans would win this great battle. At that moment, Kakarot and Black had created two powerful divine dragons which were approaching towards Kimura, who would be completely reached.
Kakarot, that was an excellent energy control. You've regulated it marvelously so that it only tears the body of that damned one and does not cause havoc in the universe. Of course, Kakarot, I control your battle power much better. Being much colder, I don't plan to give them another chance. This power has been able to kill that wretch.
However, at that precise moment, Kimura's voice would resound throughout the place, leaving everyone else surprised.
Damn you! You are about to end my life. If it hadn't been for me absorbing the power of the other demons, this would have been the end of me.
Kimura at that moment began to access the power of all the other demons. That's right, Kimura had only been using his power. The power that Kimura released this time was catastrophic, because now several planets of other multiverses were destroyed only to increase his power. Meanwhile, in the Universe 7, all were training very hard since Bardock, the father of Kakarot, had turned out to be much more powerful than a demon god. But even to that place had reached the power of Kimura, which would shake everyone, and a pressure would fall on all those present.
What's happening? Who is this great power?
I don't know, Mr. Beerus, but it seems that he's in another universe and yet still is able to reach this place.
Damn, I can't breathe normally. His power's crushing me.
But at that moment, the astonishment of everyone grew as he observed in all the universes the face of an Ozaru, which would make a loud roar, making all the disasters in all the universes, and a voice would resonate through the multiverses.
I am the fusion of Kakarot and Black. I'm the one in charge of ending your abomination.
Beerus and Whis had been the most astonished when they realized that Goku and Black had not really died.
The power of those vermin had reached to a level. I can't believe it.
Damn it! Once again humiliated by the power of some simple monkeys. I want to finish them all once and for all. I hate you, Goku!
Even the Kingdom of Everything, Daishank and Zeno-sama and his guardians were very astonished. The power they felt, even their astonishment grew even more when they knew whose powers they had.
The power of those two Saiyans had reached such a level. This cannot be true. Their power is even capable of defeating a king without any difficulty.
We must prepare ourselves, because if they have all that power now, if they win this battle, they'll become much more powerful.
Returned to the battlefield while Kimura raised all his power, Kakarot and Black had merged, knowing that otherwise they would not stand a chance. At that moment, both warriors would stare at each other.
No matter what you do, the result will be the same. So you better prepare yourself to die, simple insects. My name doesn't matter now. Just know that I'm the one in charge of finishing you, and I hope you're prepared, you damned insect.
At that moment, both began to fight at an extremely amazing speed. Energy blasts, blows, kicks, both were hitting each other with their maximum powers.
Divine Demolisher! Scythe of Death!
Kimura's powerful Divine Demolisher was cut in two by a gigantic Scythe of Fusion, which without wasting time would quickly throw itself against Kimura, starting again to massacre him with blows. However, Kimura was not left behind since, while the fusion hit him, Kimura was injecting negative energy in the whole spiritual sea of fusion to make it explode from the inside. At the moment, the fusion would grant him a blow so brutal that it would make him fall to the ground without any defense.
You're powerful. Even I, who absorbed all the demon gods, recognize that only two beings have surpassed our power. But we have much more experience. Demonic explosion!
At that moment, a great explosion was about to be formed inside Kakarot's body, but Black had much more evil heart that would neutralize it without any difficulty. And at that moment, death could be observed from the aura of the fusion. That's right, the power was so great that even his aura was materialized.
Kimura, today's the day to end you. No matter what you do, you don't stand a chance.
Kimura would be surprised to realize that his attack had no effort. At that moment, Kimura would be invaded by an astonishing terror, not knowing who the guy in front of him.
I know you must have too many questions at the moment, but the only thing you should know is that I'm the God of Death Saiyan. And today, I'll take your negative energy.
Kimura at that moment would begin to fly through all the multiverses with the intention of saving his life, since he knew that the being that he had in front of him was capable of annihilating him.
Spirits of Death, devour him and give me his power.
At that moment, hundreds of shadows rushed towards Kimura, who was at an amazing distance. But this had not been enough since the spirits of death managed to reach him and begin to devour every essence of his negative power, leaving nothing but simple bones of the most powerful demon god known so far. Shell and Cirrus were very surprised by the power of the fusion possessed.
Are you really still my Goku?
Of course I am, Cirrus. I just needed all this power to finish with that dam, because his power surpassed ours, but I was able to defeat him.
At that moment, the fusion would end, returning Kakarot and Black to normality.
Goku, I sedate you the control of the body. I'm no good with communication with beings that are extremely weak.
Goku at that moment would take full control of the body, explaining to him from where they had released all that power. However, at that moment, Black's voice would bring them all out of their thoughts.
Kakarot, the day has come in which our revenge will end. There's no being that compares to our powers, and we will be the new kings of the whole multiverse of Zeno-sama. On this occasion, I agree with Black, since I can't advance if I keep thinking about the day that my family betrayed me. I want to erase them from this universe.
That's good, since you shouldn't have a grudge in your heart, and I totally agree, but I would recommend you to recover your energy first.
Sirius is right this time, but Black, get ready, because there are 3 days we're going to annihilate with the God of Universe 7, all the Z Warriors, and all the divine beings of the realm of everything, so we can become the new rulers. I think that's great, Goku. I thought you'd never say that.
Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, everyone was very worried because they knew that they had no chance against those powers that were felt. Even in the planet of Beerus, everyone was terrified, and even with impotence.
No matter how long we train, we won't be able to do anything against Goku. Damn, I regret betraying him. He'll finish each one of us off.
I don't care. If I die this time, I'll die with him. I won't go to the other world alone.
So the 3 days had passed quickly, in which Goku and Black were ready for the total annihilation of all these beings.
I wish you a lot of luck, and don't humiliate them so much, although I know you will.
At that moment, both began to move throughout the multiverses until they managed to cross the megaversal barrier. At the moment of doing so, they would increase their power a little, creating havoc throughout all the universes. However, no divine being appeared.
Apparently, these damned ones are so afraid they're not able to show their faces. It doesn't matter if they hide or travel to different timelines. We'll annihilate them.
Goku and Black would arrive at the realm of the whole, observing all the gods and the most powerful warriors of the universes, angels, and the entire divine world.
Even though they have great power, we don't intend to let ourselves be destroyed so easily.
Black at that moment would give a big smile and ascend to the Super Saiyan Rose. Without anyone noticing, he had finished with the lives of all the gods except for Beerus, while Goku and Ultra Instinct had finished with the life of every guardian angel.
Today, we'll torture them until they get tired of it.
Black at that moment began to fight against the entire Universe 7, giving them a beating, finishing with each of them without mercy. But Black used destructive energy so that they do not go to paradise or hell, they disappear completely.
Zeno-sama, I thought we were true friends, but now I have to finish you off.
Zeno-sama at that moment would begin to access his combat form, and after a great light without giving words, he would throw himself against Goku. But to everyone's surprise, Goku without any mercy had pierced him with a blow, ending the life of Zeno-sama.
That's it. They don't have enough power to face us.
Goku in the blink of an eye had finished with each being of the divine world and would finish in the same way, eliminating his soul with the Hakai. At the moment of finishing with each one of the beings, Goku and Black would reunite the Super Dragon Ball, invoking the great god Zalma.
What is your wish?
I want you to bring all the gods and angels of the universe to life.
It is a very easy wish to fulfill, but it is impossible for me to resurrect the god Beerus. His existence was completely erased.
Don't worry. Bring all 11 gods and 12 angels back to life.
By the time they all appeared, Goku and Black had reported that Topo of Universe 11 would be the new god of destruction of Universe 7, and so Goku and Black had become the new kings of the whole of their multiverse.
At last we can rest in peace. Alas, those wretches have gone through what they did to us. At last, those insects got what they deserved.
It was a normal day in the life of the inhabitants of planet Earth. People were eating in restaurants, walking with their families. There were children playing when suddenly a giant lightning bolt was seen in the sky that caused a strong movement throughout the Earth's surface. Buildings collapsed. People could not stand up. Windows exploded. All this resulted in car accidents and injuries. At the moment, a child was going to be pierced by a giant glass that fell from a building. Very close by, we see how a being that we cannot distinguish who it is flies through the skies at great speed, rescuing people who were in danger due to the strong movement. At the precise moment when the child was about to die, that being rescues him, seeing how a huge piece of glass explodes against the ground. We see how this hooded being stands up from behind, revealing that it was none other than Goku, who had been hidden for a long time because Daishinkan and the angels wanted to see him dead. Goku, with a different appearance than the one we all know, after rescuing the boy, is amazed by the energy that emerges from the earth to the sky. We can see how Vegeta arrives at the place where Goku is together with the Z Warriors, who were still saving people from the disaster. Vegeta looks at Goku face to face and says, "Kakarot, insect, where have you been all this time?" At that moment, Gohan and Goten arrive and tell him,
Dad, where have you been?
"What happened to you, father?" All this happened while Piccolo, Krillin, Trunks, and Android 18 were rescuing the people affected by the movement. After having finished saving them, they arrive to where they are reunited with Goku and look at him very surprised. In a head-to-toe scan, we can see Goku's face very emaciated, with wounds and pronounced cheekbones because he had not tasted any kind of food for a long time. At that moment, we go back in time about 20 years ago. We see how Goku and his son Goten are walking together in the forest. Goku, talking to his son, says,
Hey, Goten, are you ready to fish today?
to which Goten replies,
Yes, Dad. Will you show me the fastest way to catch them?
Goku, happy for his son's enthusiasm, replies,
Of course, Goten, but this time I'm going to try something different. Watch this.
Goku dives into the water and after a short time comes out with a big jump with a huge fish moving on his hands. Goten, very surprised, says to his father,
Wow, Dad, how did you do that?
Goku, showing a very happy expression, says,
When I was little like you, Goten, I had to find my own food in order to live. You should try to give it a try.
Goten, very excited, says to his father,
I'll try.
And so Goten dives into the water to the joyful sight of his father, to which, on the first attempt, Goten fails to catch any fish. Seeing Goten's sad face, Goku encourages his son, saying,
Don't worry, Goten. It's a matter of practice and patience. The key is to be quick and not scare the fish.
So Goten dives in again, but this time it takes a long time to come out. When suddenly Goku feels a very powerful ki very close to where he was. Because of this, Goku worried about his son's dives in search of him. Once in the water, he sees Goten fainted and next to him a very strange artifact. Goku, worried about the state in which he found his son, swims to rescue him. At the moment, he was about to lift his son in his arms, ready to go to the surface. The strange artifact begins to emit a very sharp sound that only Goku hears. Wu, with a face of confusion and pain, tries to lift his son, but suddenly the artifact comes off the ground and permeates his chest. Once on his chest, the artifact stops emitting that strange sound and Goku stops feeling the ki of a moment ago. Goku does not take importance to what had happened to him and worried about his son. He lifts him up to get him out of the water. Once outside, Goku puts his son on the ground to revive him, but suddenly an unknown being appeared to him. This being had a greenish coat, blue hair with black tips, and it was a very strange appearance. But it did not seem to be something real. It looked like an illusion. Goku, upon realizing this being, became alert and put his son in good protection. After that, addressing the being, he asks him,
Who are you? What do you want here?
This being, without uttering a word, rushes at high speed towards Goku, who in an act of reflex manages to dodge the first blow. But the speed of the stranger exceeds him by far. Because of that, after dodging the first blow, the unknown being lunges with a kick to the head, which Goku barely manages to block, leaving his stomach exposed, where he takes the opportunity to impact a direct punch, automatically leaving Goku out of air, and thus returns to lunge with a blow to the nape of the neck. Goku, when he was about to lose consciousness, hears a voice in the distance that says, "Apparently this is my best guest that could touch me," saying this in a sarcastic way. "I hope my colleagues are in good condition." After hearing these words, Goku faints. A few minutes after the fleeting confrontation, Goku regains consciousness and realizing that the unknown being was no longer in the place, he looks for Goten, and when he finds him, he begins to unexpectedly and repeatedly call his name to make him react. Seeing that calling him had no effect, he feels his breathing and notices that he was almost not breathing. He creates an energy sphere in his hand and places it on Goten's chest. Once Goten revives the energy from his father, he reacts and spurts water from his mouth. Goten, with a puzzled expression, asks his father what had happened, to which Goku says, "I have the same question for you. What happened?" Goten tells him that at the precise moment he was about to capture the fish, he felt attracted to the artifact, which also tried to impregnate in his chest. At the time, Goten felt a strong source of energy that ran through every part of his body, which was very difficult to control, and felt how that strange energy weakened him until he lost consciousness and fainted. Goku had his thoughts, and that he also felt the same strange and very powerful energy running through his body, and worried about his son, asked him if he still felt that energy inside him. Goku calmly and a little puzzled told him no, that he only felt that when the artifact was trying to permeate him. While this was happening on Earth, Whis and Beerus went to the Kingdom of Everything to talk to Daishoken, since they had noticed him very tense and worried. Once they were already in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishoken appears with a very serious expression, while Whis and Beerus bow to him to show respect. Daishoken, relieved to see that Whis and Beerus were with him, tells them something very strange and dangerous is about to happen. Whis, with a puzzled expression, asks, "What is it, father? We'd noticed a certain tension in the air as we reached the realm of the whole." Beerus, yawning without realizing the seriousness of the fright, says to him, "Trouble again? What could be so dangerous to make Daishoken so worried?" "Serious? And worried, the High Priest?" To which Daishoken replies,
Yes, I'm afraid so. A powerful entity has resurfaced, one we have not faced in a long time.
Whis, with a very serious expression, says to him, "An unknown entity? Could it be one of the beings we left sealed away long ago?"
It is possible, Wisp. Its energies are as dark as they are disconcerting. I cannot identify the source with certainty, but its power is overwhelming.
Beerus, frowning, says, "Why should I worry about it? If it's that strong, I'll go and destroy it." Daishoken, with a very serious expression, explains,
It's not that simple, Lord Beerus. This entity seems to have the ability to change even the most ancient gods. We cannot underestimate it.
Whis thoughtfully asks his father, "How do you suggest we deal with this situation, father?"
We need to gather information before we act rashly. Whis, Beerus, I trust you with the task of investigating. Find out all you can about this entity and any weaknesses it may have.
Beerus, smiling confidently, exclaimed, "Good, good. A little action won't hurt." Nodding, Whis replies, "We will be on our way, Daishoken, but be aware that if this entity threatens our universe, we will not hesitate to take drastic measures."
I understand, Whis. May wisdom guide your actions, and may you return with the information we need.
After that conversation, Whis and Beerus depart for the hitherto unknown destination, while Daishoken watches with concern, aware of the gravity of the situation looming in the realm of everything. As they were on their way back to Earth to ask for Goku and Vegeta's help, Whis recalls that when they were on their way to the realm of everything, he sensed a very strong and dangerous key on planet Earth. Halfway through his quest in the universe, he stops and, confused, Beerus says to Whis, "What's wrong? Why are you stopping?" Whis, very serene, says to Beerus, "Oh, my dear Lord Beerus, it turns out on our way to the realm of everything, I detected a rather intriguing presence." Yawning, Beerus asks,
A mysterious entity. We didn't need to get any of what Daishoken told us.
Whis, with a nervous smile, replies, "Don't worry, Mr. Beerus. This time it doesn't seem to be a direct threat. I just felt a fleeting flash of power, something that crossed our path." Beerus frowns at Whis.
And you didn't give it any importance? Isn't that what Daishoken was talking about?
"Well, the truth is, I didn't consider it an immediate threat. It was like a flash of power energy, but it disappeared as quickly as it came. It didn't seem to have any hostile intentions." Beerus, thinking about the situation, asks,
So what shall we do then? Does Daishoken want us to investigate something like this?
"Yes, but I think the best option is to go ahead with our main mission, to find out what the entity has surfaced. The fleeting presence may be a mere detail compared to what awaits us." So Whis and Beerus went on their way through the universe, looking for the entity Daishoken mentioned without giving so much importance to what happened on Earth. Back on Earth, the precise moment Goku rescued his son Goten, Goku, confused by what had happened to his son and the strange artifact that had impregnated in his chest, told Goten, "Let's go home immediately." As they flew on their way home, Goku tries to sense Vegeta's ki so he could teleport with him, as soon as he left his son with his mother Chi-Chi. At that moment, we see how Vegeta was already gathered by the Z Warriors, Krillin, Android 18, Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Chaos, Gohan, Future Trunks, and Master Roshi, who were talking about the strong and dark energy they had felt. Goku and Goten arrive home, and his mother, worried because they had taken a long time to return, runs to Goten and says,
Goten, son, are you alright?
to which Goten Goku, somewhat worried, nods and says,
It seems so. The moment I rescued Goten, this artifact permeated my chest, and I began to feel an incredible amount of pressure coursing through every part of my body.
Piccolo, thinking about everything Goku was telling them, asks,
And how did it get in your chest?
The artifact was underwater right next to Goten, who had fainted. As soon as I was approaching it, it emitted a very sharp sound that didn't allow me to get close to Goten. Despite that, I managed to get close, and out of nowhere, it jumped in front of my chest to stay there. After everything that had happened with Goten, I tried to take it off, but when I did it again, it came back to permeate my chest. We must find out what this artifact is and why it has such a great amount of power. I'm counting on you.
Vegeta, determined, says,
Let's do it. We won't let any threat catch us off guard.
Future Trunks earnestly tells everyone,
I agree. Together, we'll figure out what's going on.
Goku thanks all his friends for the support they were giving him, but at that moment he changes his joyful expression to one of seriousness, as he remembered what had happened just before he lost consciousness. Gohan, noticing the sudden change in his father's expression, asks him,
Dad, what's wrong? Is there anything else?
Unknown being. Piccolo, observing the artifact, turns to Goku saying,
This looks familiar. It may be like a containment urn, like the ones we used at the Mafuba to seal powerful beings.
Surprised Goku,
Really, Piccolo? Do you think this could be something like that?
Krillin, looking at the artifact,
An artifact like this one, used with the Mafuba on Goku's chest? Since when did battles become so complicated? There's always something new with you Saiyans.
Master Roshi, somewhat excited, but at the same time serious, exclaimed,
Mafuba! I remember when we sealed King Piccolo with that. Do you think Goku has such a strong enemy inside?
Future Trunks, analyzing what had happened, says,
It makes sense. The Mafuba urns are powerful devices to contain evil energies. Could this artifact have sealed something?
I don't care if it's from the Mafuba or anywhere else. I just want to know how to get rid of this thing once and for all. It's a possibility. The urns we use to keep very strong enemies under control, but why did it attach yourself to Goku?
I'm not sure, but what I do know is that this energy is linked to a very powerful entity.
Whatever it is, if it's linked to that artifact, we cannot underestimate it. So, what do you plan to do, Kakarot?
At that moment, the Kaio-sama of the North telepathically communicates with Goku to tell him that he had information about the powerful energy that they felt, and the mysterious artifact that permeated his chest. Kaio-sama tells him to get to his planet quickly.
First, we need information. Kaio-sama has information about this artifact and the being that might be inside it. We must go to Kaio-sama so we can find out what we're dealing with.
Vegeta nods and Goku continues.
Exactly, but first, I need your help. If there are any more entities like this, the Earth could be in danger. And with this connection to the artifact, I could put them at risk. Therefore, I'll only go to Kaio-sama to get the information to get rid of this artifact.
Kakarot, don't even think that you'll do this alone. I'll go with you, insect. I can't accept that you become stronger than me.
Goku accepts and asks him to put his hand on his shoulder. Once Goku and Vegeta left, the Z-Warriors sensed unknown presences on the planet, so they split into groups and flew off at high speed to go investigate. With the re-evaluation that the artifact at Goku's chest might be like a containment urn, similar to those used in Mafuba, the Z-Warriors faced an increasingly complex and dangerous situation. Uncertainty about what such an artifact contains and how it is connected to the mysterious dark energy fills them with worry. While Goku and Vegeta were to where Kaio-sama and the Z-Warriors went to investigate the unknown presences they had detected in space, Whis and Beerus, after having traversed much of space, felt a strong amount of dark energy, so they immediately head to where it was. As they are about to reach the source of the dark energy, the pressure in the air becomes more intense as they get closer, and the unknown entity awaits their arrival.
Why do I feel like this is going to be more complicated than we thought?
Mr. Beerus, the information we gain here could be crucial to understanding the threat we face on Earth.
The unknown entity, surrounded by a dark aura, reveals itself in front of Whis and Beerus. Its presence is overwhelming and a sinister laugh echoes in space. Unknown entity mockingly welcomes them, saying,
I expected your arrival. You took longer than I expected.
Do not underestimate the gods. We're here to stop any threat that endangers our universe. Before any confrontation, can you tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Oh, that's funny. I'm known as Ryuk, disciple of the Devourer of Worlds. I have come to free the Master, the most powerful being who ever lived.
The expression on Whis' and Beerus' faces become much more serious upon hearing Raiku's name.
Raikou, that name rings a bell.
Raikou is an ancient threat, Lord Beerus. His master, he and the other disciples were sealed away a millennia ago due to his unquenchable thirst for power and destruction.
So it looks like we have a problem. This time it won't be as easy sealing him again.
The space fills with palpable tension as Ryuk, surrounded by a dark and malevolent aura, confronts Whis and Beerus. The dark energy emanating from him seems to distort the very fabric of space around him.
Problem, you say? You are correct, little god. The Master has been patiently awaiting your release, and now with my arrival, that time has finally come.
Beerus moves into combat stance with a determined expression on his face, while Whis remains composed but alert.
I have no time for games. If your master is a threat, we'll stop you here and now.
Tell us more about your master. Understanding his motivations might help us find a peaceful solution.
Ryuk chuckles mischievously, revealing his sharp fangs, then disappears in a dark flash before reappearing behind Beerus with astonishing speed.
There's nothing they can do to stop the Master's inevitable resurgence, but before that, they could entertain me.
The battle begins. Ryuk throws a swift punch towards Beerus, but the Destroyer guy nimbly dodges and responds with an energy punch that Ryuk blocks easily. Meanwhile, Whis watches carefully, waiting for the right moment to intervene. Ryuk's speed is impressive, but Beerus manages to keep up. They exchange blows and energy blasts in a combat that seems to defy the laws of space itself. Ryuk's dark energy distorts reality around him, making its impact more dangerous and intense.
Lord Beerus, your speed is amazing, but that dark energy is problematic. I suggest you be careful with your movements.
Beerus nods as he dodges an enemy attack and counterattacks with an energy wave. Ryuk, undeterred, vanishes and reappears in front of Whis, challenging him to enter the fight.
And you, assistant of the god, will you dare to face me?
Whis smiles serenely and disappears in a flash, only to reappear behind Ryuk.
I have no intention of fighting, but if that's what you wish.
Before Whis finishes his sentence, Ryuk turns around and launches a fierce attack towards him. Whis, with his extraordinary speed, dodges each blow with grace. Space convulsed with the fury of the cosmic confrontation between Whis, Beerus, and Ryuk. Each move shattered reality itself. As Ryuk's dark energy and the god's divine blast intertwined in a demonstration of opposing forces, Ryuk, his ominous figure shrouded in a dark aura, moved with breathtaking speed. His sinister left echoed through the emptiness of space, challenging the gods who faced him.
This guy's faster than I thought.
As Beerus' words fade away, Ryuk disappears in the blink of an eye and reappears in front of him with a punch charged with dark energy. Beerus manages to block the attack, but the force of impact sends shockwaves through space. Ryuk breaks away from Beerus with a smirk, and in a flash lunges towards Whis. His movements were fluid. Whis, on the other hand, moves gracefully, dodging each blow with the grace of a cosmic dancer.
This dark power is intriguing, but it is out of balance.
Ryuk, frustrated by Whis' evasive ability, concentrates his dark energy in his hands and launches it as a flare. Whis responds by creating an energy barrier, but the resulting collision sends shockwaves through space, shaking nearby stars. Beerus takes advantage of Ryuk's distraction and lunges at him with a punch charged with divine energy. Ryuk blocks the blow, but the resulting force causes an explosion that creates the ephemeral supernova in the cosmos. The fight continues with unmatched speed. Ryuk demonstrates his skill in anticipating the gods' moves, while Beerus and Whis unleash their divine power to counter the darkness that threatens to engulf them. In a moment of pause, Ryuk grins mischievously and his dark aura begins to intensify. A transformation was underway. The darkness concentrates around his body, forming a sort of dark cocoon that breaks, revealing a transformed figure. Now Ryuk has evolved. His previous form pales in comparison to the manifestation of his current power. His figure has become more imposing, with twisted shadows dancing around him as if they were extensions of his own essence. Sharp fangs glow with dark radiance, and his eyes emit a malevolent light.
Ha ha ha!
This is just a glimpse of my true power.
Beerus and Whis exchange a worried glance. The pressure in the air becomes even more intense. Ryuk, now in his transformation form, launches himself towards the gods with outstanding speed. Beerus tries to counterattack with a sphere of divine energy, but Ryuk dodges each projectile with ease, moving through the bursts of light with supernatural agility. Meanwhile, Whis stands in reverse, watching the fight with analytical eyes. In a quick blink, Ryuk appears in front of Beerus and unleashes a series of vicious blows. The sonic sounds of punches and echoes kicked through space as the gods and Devourer of Worlds, discipled, plunge into a frenzy of combat. Beerus, struggling to keep up with Ryuk's speed, takes a direct punch to the stomach that sends him drifting into space. Before he can recover, however, Ryuk lunges at him and blasts him with a barrage of blows. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ryuk, in a ruthless act, concentrates dark energy in his hand and drives it through Beerus' abdomen. The Destroyer God lets out a roar of pain as darkness spreads from the point of impact. Whis, seeing the stark reality, springs into action. His figure flashes in space as he stands in front of Ryuk, blocking his attacks.
I cannot allow you to harm my lord in this way.
Whis' divine energy collides with Ryuk's darkness in a show of cosmic power. The battle intensifies and the fate of the universe hangs in the balance as the confrontation between light and darkness reaches its climax. The confrontation between Whis and Ryuk intensified as space became the stage for their fierce cosmic battle. The clash of divine and dark energies echoed in the void of the universe, creating ripples that stretched to the far reaches of space.
You think you can stop me, Whis?
The master of divine martial arts, Whis, maintained his serene composure as he resisted the onslaught of the Devourer of Worlds disciple. His divine aura glowed brightly, fighting against the darkness that threatened to envelop him. Whis, with a wave of his hand, unleashed a blast of divine energy that forced Ryuk back momentarily. However, the smile on the dark being's face revealed that he was far from giving up.
Ryuk, your quest for power will only lead to destruction.
Ryuk, releasing a sinister laugh, launched himself at Whis with renowned furiosity. Each exchange of blows was like a clash of titans, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, Beerus was recovering from the wounds inflicted by Ryuk, watching the battle with critical eyes. The darkness that had pierced his abdomen was beginning to dissipate thanks to divine regeneration, but the experience had left an indelible mark.
This creature's more formidable than I imagined.
And determined not to be a mere spectator, Beerus joined the battle with renowned determination. His figure flashed with divine energy that rivaled Whis', creating a spectacle of light and shadow in space. The three powerful beings engaged in a cosmic dance, with flashes of divine and dark energy illuminating the vastness of the universe. Ryuk, without losing his smirk, took advantage of his transformation to increase his speed and strength, challenging the gods with every move. The combat reached new levels of complexity when Whis, in a flash of cunning, unleashed a divine teleportation technique. He moved at the speed of thought, appearing and disappearing at different points in space, keeping Ryuk on the defensive.
You can't dodge me forever, Whis.
As Whis and Ryuk clashed in space, Beerus focused on channeling his divine energy. The Destroyer God sank into a meditative state, concentrating on unleashing his true power. Beerus' transformation was gradual but impactful. His figure was enveloped in a golden aura, and his eyes shone with the intensity of a star. Divine power flowed through him, manifesting in a form that only the mightiest gods could attain, allowing the grievous wound left by Ryuk to be healed.
It's time to put an end to this.
The reborn Beerus lunged towards Ryuk with unparalleled speed. Each blow he delivered was imbued with overwhelming divine energy. Ryuk, though powerful, was overwhelmed by the onslaught of the Destroyer God. Meanwhile, Whis continued his cosmic ballet, defying the laws of space and time with his speed and agility. Every move was calculated, every blow strategically executed. The battle reached its climax as Beerus and Whis coordinated, combining their attacks to create a symphony of divine energy that enveloped Ryuk. The pressure in the air became almost tangible, and the cosmos itself seemed to rumble with the intensity of the conflict.
Do you have anything to say, Ryuk?
Ryuk, gravely wounded but still defiant, let out a shrill laugh. His figure writhed as the dark energy tried to resist the overwhelming pressure of the gods.
This is not the end, gods. My master will be released, and his darkness will devour all.
Beerus, showing no mercy, unleashed a sphere of concentrated divine energy and hurled it directly at Ryuk. The resulting explosion illuminated the space, dispelling the darkness that had lingered. Silence fell over the space as the gods watched the wreckage of the battle. Ryuk lay motionless, defeated, but not destroyed. His threat had been contained, at least for now.
This is not over. We need to find out more about his master and any threat that may arise.
Whis nodded, sharing the same determination. The reality of the danger that stalked the universe became more apparent, and the gods knew they had to prepare to face even greater challenges. The cosmic explosion that marked the end of the fierce battle dissipated into the vast space, leaving Whis and Beerus floating in momentary tranquility. As they regained their composure, a flash of gold announced the arrival of Daishinkan, the High Priest, who appeared before them with a serene but worried expression.
I see you've dealt with the threat, dear Whis and Beerus.
Yes, Father. Ryuk has been contained, at least for now.
But this isn't the end, is it?
Daishinkan smiled wisely as he held in his hands a strange artifact, a glowing sphere that emanated an energy like the one they felt during the battle.
This is what I wanted to show you. It's known as the Sphere of Divine Containment, an ancient artifact capable of sealing beings of great power and darkness.
Beerus and Whis watched intently as Daishinkan explained the function of the sphere and how it was used to keep the most dangerous entities in the universe at bay.
This artifact has been kept in safekeeping for eons. It's only brought to light in extreme situations. The dark energy they felt came from one of these sealed entities, released by Ryuk's recklessness.
Whis and Beerus exchanged worried glances as they assimilated the information.
Who are these sealed entities? They are beings from the distant past, fallen gods and creatures whose thirst for power make them uncontrollable. The Sphere of Divine Containment is our safeguard against their resurgence.
So, Ryuk was one of them, and his master?
His master is the Devourer of Worlds, an even more ancient and dangerous being. His release could jeopardize existence itself.
The gravity of the situation hung heavy in the air as Daishinkan continued to explain the importance of keeping the Sphere of Divine Containment safe and sealing Ryuk again.
Now that Ryuk has been contained, it's crucial that he returns to his place of safekeeping. But we also need to get information from him. We need to know more about the Devourer of Worlds' plans and any threats that may arise.
Beerus, Whis, and Daishinkan shared a determined look. The task was not complete. There is still work to be done.
If interrogating Ryuk could give us answers, we'll do so, but we must proceed with caution.
The information we gathered will be essential to prepare for future threats. Also, we need to reinforce the security of the Sphere of Divine Containment. Daishinkan, with a nod of his head, showed his approval of the god's decision.
Very well. Let us return to the realm of all and set preparations in motion. The safety of the universe depends on us.
The three gods, with the glowing sphere in hand, teleported to the realm of all, ready to confront the shadows of the past and ensure the stability of the universe. The spheres of divine containment, now more than ever, became the beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to emerge. Meanwhile on Earth, the Z warriors, divided into groups, scattered into the sky in the direction of the unknown presences they had sensed on the planet of the northern Kaio-sama. In the air, they moved at impressive speeds, ready to face any threat that crossed their path. On Kaio-sama's planet, Goku and Vegeta appeared thanks to teleportation, scarring Kaio-sama with serious and determined expressions. Kaio-sama, who was waiting for them, welcomed them with nervous gestures.
Goku, Vegeta, I'm glad you came so quickly. The information I have is crucial.
We need to know what this artifact is and what threat it poses.
We don't have time to waste. What do you know?
Kaio-sama nodded and led the Saiyans to his small home on the planet. Once inside, they unfolded an ancient scroll that revealed information about a mystical artifact known as the Cosmic Core of Containment. He explained that this artifact was used by the ancient gods to seal entities of great evil and power, preventing them from wreaking havoc in the universe.
This artifact is so ancient that there are hardly any records of its creation. It was thought to be lost, but apparently all this time it was hidden on planet Earth.
And how is it supposed to be sealed?
Tell us at once.
Kaio-sama explained that the cosmic core of Containment could be opened by a being of great power, but in doing so, the seal would be transferred to the first being it encountered. If the seal was not broken immediately, it would merge with that being, granting it power, but also binding it to the duty of keeping the evil sealed.
And how the heck did it end up in Goku's chest?
That's the puzzling thing. It seems that this artifact shows Goku as its carrier.
Goku, with an expression of astonishment, began to grasp the magnitude of the situation. He was now the bearer of an artifact containing an entity of indescribable evil. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?
What an honor, Kakarot. It seems you've become the guardian of evil.
But there is something else. The being sealed inside the urn is incredibly powerful. He is known as Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. It is an ancient entity that has consumed entire worlds.
The gravity of the situation was reflected on the faces of Goku and Vegeta. Not only did they have to face the mysterious artifact in Goku's chest, but also the dark entity sealed within. Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and, at the same time, figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
Yes, make no mistake, Kakarot. If this threatens Earth, I'll not hesitate to stop you.
Meanwhile on Earth, the Z Warriors faced unusual pressure as they prepared for combat. Each group was ready to deal with the entities they had sensed at Bulma's house, which were minions of Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. The dark energy surrounding these minions was intense, and the very air seemed to vibrate with their malevolent presence. The group of Krillin, Master Roshi, and Android 18 encountered one of Bahamut's 4 minions standing on the ground, humanoids with a black, malevolent aura. The Z Warriors prepared for the confrontation with Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, adopting combat stances. In a chaotic dance of dark energy and flickering explosions, the confrontation between the Z Warriors and Bahamut's henchmen unfolded on the cosmic stage of Earth's defense. Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, 3 warriors of varying experience and skills, faced a dark menace that threatened to plunge the planet into an abyss of destruction. The stage was permeated with a tense atmosphere as the 3 warriors assumed combat stances, ready to defend the Earth against Bahamut's henchmen, a being whose malevolent aura eclipsed even the intensity of the sun. I don't know who you are, but will not allow you to harm our planet! Krillin's words echoed in the air, charged with determination. Bahamut's henchman, a humanoid with a black malevolent aura, advanced with ferocity, launching a dark attack. Krillin, in a display of amazing agility, dodged the attacks, moving like a gust of wind across the battlefield. Kaizen! In the blink of an eye, Krillin created his signature energy disc and launched it towards the henchman. Kaizen spun furiously, cutting through the air as it headed towards its target. However, the henchman displayed unmatched skill as he dodged the spinning attack, moving with an agility that defied comprehension. The henchman counterattacked with a series of dark, swift strikes, but Krillin was unwilling to give up. With precise and quick movements, he blocked most of the attacks, responding with quick and precise counterattacks. The combat dance between Krillin and the henchman painted a picture of speed and skill, where each movement could change the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Master Roshi, the aged warrior with vast experience in martial arts, watched the confrontation with a knowing smile. He adopted a firm posture, waiting for his moment to intervene.
You've chosen the wrong man to fight. I've seen more battles than you can imagine.
As Bahamut's henchmen lunged towards him, Master Roshi moved with unique grace, dodging the attacks with precise movements and counterattacking with a series of energy blasts. The old man's experience and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge for the henchman, who was forced to deploy all his skills to confront the master. On the other hand, Android 18, the android warrior with formidable strength, advanced towards the henchman with determination. Her eyes glowed with an intense blue light as she unleashed her powerful android energy. Do not underestimate the strength of androids. With a quick wave of his hands, Android 18 launched a wave of energy towards the henchman. The latter, though impressed by the ferocity of the android warrior, showed no signs of recoiling. Instead, it lunged toward her with surprising speed, throwing dark blows that Android 18 dodged with cybernetic agility. The battle between Android 18 and the minion was a display of strength and speed, the bursts of energy lighting up the sky. Both fought with an intensity that could shake the foundations of the universe. Meanwhile, Android 18, a formidable warrior created by Dr. Gero, was ready to demonstrate her immense power. She charged her energy, her body radiating a red glow, and lunged towards the henchman with determination. "Don't underestimate me. I'm stronger than you think." The henchman responded with a sudden surge of his dark aura, unleashing a surge of energy that pushed Android 18 back. The force of the impact created a shockwave, kicking up dust and debris in its wake. The battle was intense. Every move had a purpose and every attack resonated with the Z Warriors' determination to protect their home. Explosions of energy followed one after another, lighting up the battlefield like fireworks in the dark night of space. However, the true magnitude of the threat was yet to be fully revealed. This henchman was only one of 4 sent by Bahamut, and the fate of Earth depended on the ability of the Z Warriors to pass this first test. On the horizon, the other 3 minions awaited their turn, ready to plunge into the fray and test their bravery and skills of Earth's defenders. The intensity of the battle increased with each moment, and while Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi fought against the henchmen, other groups of Z Warriors faced similar challenges in different locations around the planet. The fate of the Earth hung in the delicate balance of the unfolding cosmic battle, and each warrior was determined to give everything for the survival of his home. While the first group of warriors were defending Earth on Kaio-sama's planet in the small house, it was permeated with a tense atmosphere and solemnity as Goku, Vegeta, and Kaio-sama were immersed in the gravity of the situation. The ancient scroll spread out on the table revealed the secrets of an ancient artifact, and the weight now rested on Goku's shoulders. "So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?" The responsibility rested on Goku like a heavy mantle. The cosmic core of Containment, that ancestral artifact, had chosen Goku as its carrier, and within it was Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. The gravity of the situation was reflected in the eyes of the Saiyan, who was already mentally preparing himself for a colossal task ahead.
What an honor, Kakarot. Seems you've become the guardian of evil.
The irony of Vegeta's voice did not go unnoticed. While his words might have been sarcastic, the determination in his eyes indicated that, despite any jokes, they were in this together.
But there's something else. The being inside the artifact is incredibly powerful.
The information left Goku and Vegeta silent. Bahamut, the name echoed in their minds like the distant echo of a coming storm. Consuming entire worlds was a threat they could not underestimate. "Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and at the same time figure out how to free ourselves from this burden." The pact was sealed. Together, Goku and Vegeta would take on the challenge of containing Bahamut and discovering a way to free themselves from the burden they now carried. The remaining question was how they would confront the dark entity that lay in Goku's chest. But before they could formulate a plan, a vibration in the air alerted them to the arrival of others.
"It seems your friends are in trouble. Go help them."
Goku and Vegeta nodded in a gesture and understanding and, with serious expressions, headed for the door. With a mighty leap, they launched themselves into the sky, ready to join the battle raging on planet Earth. At the moment that Kaio-sama gave the information to Goku and Vegeta, on Earth appeared another henchman of Bahamut who met with the duo of Ten Shinhan. This henchman of Bahamut seemed to be an expert in dark martial arts. He moved with supernatural agility, challenging the Z Warriors with swift and lethal movements.
Do not underestimate the strength of humans. Kikoho!
Ten Shinhan launched his powerful Kikoho attack, creating an explosion of energy that enveloped Bahamut's henchmen.
This is no ordinary enemy. I must use my powers wisely.
Chaos unleashing his magic, creating illusions and distractions to confuse Bahamut's henchmen. The battle was unfolding on multiple levels, with the Z Warriors fighting against this enemy who seemed to understand the combat arts in unexpected ways. At that moment, realizing that the power with which they were facing Bahamut's henchmen was not enough to stop him, thanks to Chaos's distraction, they took the opportunity to try to escape. But they did not count on the great speed of their rival who, realizing that they wanted to escape, caught up with them, disappearing from the place where he was and appearing in front of them. At the precise moment in which he was about to eliminate Chaos and Ten Shinhan, two people appeared between them and their rival Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta, with their gazes fixed on Bahamut's henchmen, shared a silent understanding. The gravity of the situation was clear on their faces, but there was no room for doubt.
Ten Shinhan! Chaos! Go and warn the others about this threat. We need time to deal with this.
We don't want them to get hurt because of us. Go! We'll take care of this.
Ten Shinhan and Chaos nodded, recognizing the determination in the Saiyans' voices. Wasting no time, they sped away, leaving Goku and Vegeta facing their formidable opponent. Bahamut's henchmen, emanating overwhelming darkness, showed no signs of backing down. His eyes glowed with malice, aware of the battle ahead. The Z Warriors were prepared to face any threat, and this would be no exception.
It's clear that this won't be easy.
That's what makes it exciting. Let's do it, Kakarot.
Goku and Vegeta charged at Bahamut's henchmen with impressive speed. At the moment when both warriors were fighting a battle that could change the fate of Earth, this being who presented himself as Bahamut's henchman, this dark entity with a humanoid shape but a bird's head, was going to be surprised by the abilities of the Saiyan warriors. In the middle of the combat, of all the show of strength between both warriors and this dark being, Takagami, with a confused face but confident that his strength was far superior to that of these earthly warriors, thought,
I'm amazed at the strength these earthly beings possess. I guess they deserve to know who'll kill them.
Then at that moment he told them with a malevolent smile, he said,
I've been surprised by warriors. That's why they deserve to know my name. I'm Takagami, sacred god of darkness, follower of the supreme god Bahamut.
Goku, very surprised of what he's hearing, said,
More gods? This sounds very dangerous and it's exciting.
Bug, shut up! The life of this planet's at risk, and you get excited about a being that's very powerful.
The speed of the combat accelerated as Goku and Vegeta pounced on Takagami. The energy in the air became dense, vibrating with the intensity of the impending confrontation. Takagami, with his dark aura, stood his ground, disdainfully watching the approaching Saiyans.
Do you think you have a chance against the power of darkness?
Goku and Vegeta continued their advance, wasting no time in unnecessary words. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Takagami, unleashing a gale of blows. Takagami, with surprising agility, dodged many of the attacks, but some managed to land, demonstrating the strength of the Saiyans.
Don't underestimate the power of a Saiyan!
Come on, God of Darkness, show us what you can do.
Takagami responded to the challenge, unleashing his own fury. His speed and combat skills were amazing, deflecting the blows of Goku and Vegeta with subtle movements. The battle turned into a whirlwind of punches, kicks, and ki blasts, lighting up the sky with flashes of light and darkness.
They're just insects in front of the power of eternal darkness!
Goku in his base state and Vegeta, with their pride as the Saiyan Prince, continued to put pressure on Takagami. However, as the battle progressed, Takagami began to reveal more of his true power. His dark aura intensified, and his form subtly changed, revealing a transformation that increased his power exponentially.
This can't be good.
Goku, always excited for a challenge, added,
Vegeta, get ready! This is getting interesting.
Takagami's increased power created an overwhelming pressure on the battlefield. His speed increased dramatically, and his strength eclipsed that of the Saiyans. However, Goku and Vegeta were not intimidated. With determination, they raised their own power of levels, taking the battle to new heights. The fighting continued with swift attacks and explosions shaking the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, now in more advanced forms, kept up the pace, challenging Takagami at every turn. However, despite his efforts, the sacred god of darkness proved to be a formidable adversary.
This is entertaining, but your resistance is useless. The darkness consumes everything.
Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, exchanged determined glances.
Vegeta, it's time to go further.
Huh, of course, Kakarot.
As Chaos and Ten Shinhan rushed to warn the other Z Warriors, the confrontation between Goku, Vegeta, and Takagami entered a new level of intensity. The struggle for the fate of the universe was in full swing. A cosmic battle was raging on planet Earth, where darkness and light collided in a frantic dance of energy. Goku and Vegeta, the brave Saiyans, were facing Takagami, the Falcon, sacred god of darkness. The intensity of the combat resonated in the universe, and every movement threatened to tear reality itself apart. Takagami, who had increased his power, floated in the air with an imposing presence and dark aura. His eyes glowed with malice as he watched the Saiyans, who stood firm, prepared to defend their fate of the planet. In response to their enemies' increased power, Goku and Vegeta channeled their ki to the maximum, raising their power to the Super Saiyan.
Vegeta, this guy's strong, but that only means that this fight will be even better.
Of course, Kakarot. This is our time to shine.
The planet Earth vibrated with the energy released by the three contenders. The distant stars seemed to pale before the magnitude of the conflict. The clouds were dissipated by such a demonstration of power. Takagami, with his increased speed, lunged at Goku with a darkness-laden punch. Goku, using his elasticity and quickness, dodged gracefully, leaving a trail of flashes around him by the speed at which Takagami was lashing out with his nigh-speed punches. Vegeta, with a burst of ki, stepped between Goku and Takagami, blocking an attack that would have been devastating his fellow Saiyan. The shockwave from the collision sent debris in all directions.
I expected nothing less from you, sacred god of darkness.
Takagami defiantly unleashed a series of dark blasts towards Goku and Vegeta. The Saiyans responded with perfect timing, countering each attack with precise strikes and energy waves. The scene looked like a combat symphony, where every movement was choreographed with divine precision. Goku, with a twinkle in his eye, concentrated his energy on his hands. A bluish sphere of energy began to form, growing in size and luminosity. Vegeta, observing the familiar technique, smiled as he recognized the power that Goku was summoning. A colossal energy wave fired by Goku shot through the sky like lightning, hitting Takagami squarely. However, the darkness was absorbing the energy, and the Falcon emerged unscathed, laughing disdainfully.
Is that all you have, Saiyan?
While Goku was recovering from the effort of his attack, Vegeta launched himself at Takagami with supersonic speed. His fist slammed into the Dark God, creating a shockwave that shook the air. However, Takagami responded with a burst of energy that sent Vegeta backwards.
Damn, this guy's stronger than I thought.
Goku, recovering, joined the battle again. Both Saiyans, aware that they were facing a formidable enemy, decided that it was time to take the fight to the next level.
Vegeta, how about we show what we can really do?
Of course, Kakarot. Let's do it.
Goku and Vegeta began to accumulate energy around them. The atmosphere was charged with an intensity of their ki as they unleashed their advanced forms. Goku transformed into the Super Saiyan Blue, while Vegeta assumed his evolved form, the evolved Blue Super Saiyan. Are they taking each other seriously now? Goku and Vegeta, with their new forms, advanced towards Takagami with renewed determination. The speed and strength of the Saiyans were now incomparable. The impacts resounded like cosmic thunder, creating a symphony of destruction in the sky. The battle became even more intense. Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their movements, attacked Takagami with an impressive combination of techniques and melee attacks. The Falcon, despite its power, was overwhelmed by the ferocity of the Saiyans. Final Flash! The bursts of energy, one blue and one golden, converged into a titanic explosion that engulfed Takagami. Light and darkness mixed in a burst of dazzling colors. However, when the explosion dissipated, Takagami emerged once more, his form slightly battered, but his determination intact. His power is awesome, but I'm a god. The darkness cannot be defeated so easily. Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, continued the offensive. The speed of his combat reached levels that defied comprehension. Punches and kicks were exchanged in a split second, creating a glow of cosmic collisions.
Big Bang Attack!
Kaioken 20 times!
The energy exploded again, shaking the sky with its fury. However, Takagami, with his divine resistance, withstood the attacks. The battle raged across the cosmos, with the warriors disappearing and reappearing in flashes of light and shadow. In the middle of the struggle, Goku and Vegeta began to feel an overwhelming pressure. Takagami's darkness seemed to expand, defying even the limits of the most powerful Saiyans. Reality itself was twisting under the influence of dark energy.
This darkness is incredibly strong.
We can't back down now, Kakarot. We must get over this.
Both Saiyans raised their powers even more. The fight reached a new peak of intensity. The Saiyan was exploding like fireworks in the vastness of the night sky, lighting up the darkness with flashes of determination and defiance. Takagami, at the epicenter of the storm, smiled ominously.
Now you'll see the true power of eternal darkness.
The universe trembled as the battle reached its climax. The warriors were fighting for the fate of everything they knew, and the question that lingered in space was whether the light of the Saiyans could overcome the darkness of the sacred god. The planet Earth rumbled with the intensity of the cosmic battle. Goku and Vegeta, drenched in sweat, maintained their advanced forms as they prepared for Takagami's next assault. Darkness was emanating from his figure, but something seemed out of place. The Dark God's skin had a grayish hue, as if he had not yet completed the possession of its wearer. Takagami, with a guttural laugh, seemed to notice the perplexity in the Saiyans' expressions.
Surprise, Saiyans! I've not yet revealed all my power.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged puzzled looks. Something was not right, and both warriors felt it. At that moment, Takagami convulsed. A new form shook, as if he was fighting against something. An invisible force seemed to pull at him from within.
No! I haven't taken complete control yet!
Suddenly, a burst of dark energy enveloped Takagami, hiding him from view. The Saiyans were on guard, prepared for any surprise. Their energy in the air became denser, as if the cosmos itself was on the verge of transformation.
What's going on?
Before they could form any more questions, the dark energy dispersed, revealing Takagami's true form. However, what they saw took their breath away. At the moment of arriving at his true form, he let himself see the body he was possessing. This body was Yamcha's. Once the warriors saw that, Takagami completed his bird-headed humanoid form. And now the true form of the sacred god of destruction was clearly revealed. The falcon's head was clearly shown, with a defined musculature but a thin body, wearing blue Egyptian clothes with gold bracelets and a gold necklace. Huge wings which disappeared and appeared at their whim. Now Takagami had something going for him. He was playing against the Saiyan warriors. Not only should he defeat them, but they should also avoid harming Yamcha.
That's what Yamcha looks like!
Takagami's rumbling laughter filled the space. Now completely in possession of Yamcha's body, the Dark God was displaying a malevolent smile.
That's right, Saiyans. This weak body belongs to me now.
Vegeta gritted his teeth furiously.
Damn it! How dare you possess one of us?
It's not just one Saiyan. Soon all of you will become Bahamut puppets.
The reality of the situation hit Goku and Vegeta, but the force of the cosmic impact, the dark entity they were facing was not only a dark god, but also had the power of possessing earthling warriors. Yamcha, now inside the sacred god of darkness, did not have any sign of consciousness. The god had taken control of his being completely.
Ha 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 ha! There's no escape. Bahamut will be released, and this universe will fall into eternal darkness.
Goku and Vegeta shared a determined look. They knew the threat was even greater now. Not only were they fighting a dark god, they were also faced the possibility of losing their friends and allies in this fight.
Vegeta, we have to find a way to free Yamcha and stop Takagami.
Of course, Kakarot. But first, we have to deal with this dark god.
The battle continued, but now the situation was more desperate. Takagami, with Yamcha's body, unleashed an unstoppable fury. The Saiyans struggled not only against eternal darkness, but also against the weight of facing one of their own companions. Explosions of energy lit up the sky, but the inner struggle of Goku and Vegeta was equally intense. Every blow, every burst of ki resonated with the promise of freeing Yamcha and saving the universe from the threat of Bahamut. But Takagami wasn't going to give up so easily.
Do you think you could beat one of the World Eater's henchmen?
The dark energy intensified in the ultimate form of the sacred god of darkness. Now, the freedom to be able to use all his power launched relentless attacks. Goku and Vegeta, with their advanced forms, were fighting with all their might, but the darkness had a firm grip. The struggle dragged on. Every moment seemed like an eternity. Yamcha, although he was just a contender for Takagami, at one point during the fight showed signs of pain on his face. It was as if his very essence was fighting against the darkness that was consuming her. "Yamcha, hold on! Let's get you out of this!" But Goku's words were lost in the storm. Takagami, with a maniacal laugh, continued his assault. The Earth, witness of this cosmic conflict, trembled before the magnitude of the confrontation between light and darkness. Somewhere far away, Chaos and Ten Shinhan, after alerting the other Z warriors about the threat, returned to the battlefield. Seeing the situation, Ten Shinhan's face filled with fury as Chaos clenched his fist determinedly. "Takagami, I'll make sure you pay for this!" Both warriors joined the fight, but even with their abilities, facing a dark god who possessed one of his own would not be so easy. The battle turned into a desperate struggle to face Yamcha and stop Bahamut before he was released. During the chaos, Goku and Vegeta shared a look of determination. The darkness could be powerful, but the light of the Saiyans would shine even in the darkest moments. The battle for the fate of the universe was far from over, and Earth's heroes were ready to face any challenges that stood in their way. Taking a trip to the past, one day before the strange artifact was impregnated into Goku's chest, after rescuing his son Goten, Yamcha, oblivious to the imminent danger that was coming, was exploring an ancient Egyptian pyramid during an archaeological expedition. The atmosphere was charged with mystery and the promise of amazing discoveries. Deep inside the pyramid, Yamcha stumbled upon an ancient artifact that was glowing with a dim light. It was an Egyptian bracelet decorated with intricate hieroglyphs. Fascinated by her beauty and attracted by an inexplicable force, Yamcha could not resist and placed the bracelet on his wrist. The moment the bracelet touched his skin, a strange sensation enveloped Yamcha. It was not painful or threatening, but rather captivating. An ancestral connection was established between the earthly warrior and the Egyptian artifact. What Yamcha didn't know was that this artifact contained an ancient power linked to the age of gods and legends. As the light from the bracelet merged with Yamcha, an ancient presence awoke. It was the essence of an ancient god that was lying asleep inside the artifact. However, this being was neither malevolent nor benevolent. It was simply an ancestral force seeking to join a mortal existence, or at least that was what Yamcha felt at that moment. The god, by merging with Yamcha, granted him abilities and knowledge beyond his comprehension. Yamcha felt with a strength and connection to the story itself. The fusion, although puzzling at first, resulted in a unique symbiosis between the earthly warrior and the divine entity. Yamcha didn't know what the bracelet actually was. Returning to the battle, every moment became more challenging for Goku and Vegeta and the earthly warriors. Takagami, now completely liberated, unleashed a destructive force that tested even the most powerful Saiyans. In an effort to turn the tide of the battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos joined the fight. Both warriors, aware of the threat possessed by Takagami, threw themselves into the fray bravely. His unique skills and determination added a new dynamic to the conflict, but even with his intervention, the darkness persisted. "Ten Shinhan, keep the pressure on. We cannot allow this darkness to take over our world." Ten Shinhan nodded, concentrating his energy on coordinated attacks with Goku and Vegeta. Despite their combined efforts, Takagami remained a relentless adversary. As the battle reached its peak, Goku and Vegeta, exhausted but without losing their determination, shared a look of mutual understanding. They knew they needed an extra power to face Takagami at his finest. Instantly, an idea crossed their minds of the Saiyan's fusion. "Vegeta, I know it's not something you prefer, but I think it's our only option."
I don't like to admit it, Kakarot, but I agree with you. If we want to stop this monster, we need all the power we can get.
Both warriors assumed the necessary postures to perform the fusion dance. The energy of Goku and Vegeta intertwined in a brilliant flash, and within seconds, an entirely new warrior emerged. Gogeta in his base form, the supremely powerful fusion of the two Saiyans.
It seems the occasion requires it. Now, Takagami, get ready. So you think a ridiculous fusion will be able to stand up to my power?
Gogeta rushed towards Takagami with amazing speed. The matchup that followed was an unmatched display of skills. Gogeta dodged Takagami's attacks with grace, fighting back with overwhelming force. However, the darkness that enveloped the Dark God proved to be a formidable challenge. During the intense battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos continued to bravely fight. but the price of a confrontation was already becoming apparent. Takagami, taking advantage of the distraction, launched a devastating attack that left Ten Shinhan and Chaos seriously injured. Goku and Vegeta, seeing their companions in danger, felt a surge of rage. Gogeta redoubled his efforts, attacking with renewed ferocity. However, Takagami, aware of the situation, diverted his attention to Ten Shinhan and Chaos.
Feeling the despair, Saiyans. Soon this world will witness its end.
Goku and Vegeta, full of rage and determination, increased their speed. They knew they needed to do something before Takagami carried out his threats. The battle reached its climax when Gogeta launched a massive attack on Takagami, seeking to break his resistance. However, the darkness surrounding Takagami intensified, revealing a surprise resistance. It was then that Ten Shinhan and Chaos, still on the ground, exchanged a determined look. They knew that whatever they had to do to give Gogeta a chance to defeat Takagami.
Goku, Vegeta, you need time. I'll take care of holding this monster. I'll come with you, Ten Shinhan. Together we'll be the barrier they need.
Goku and Vegeta, although reluctant to lose their friends, went at full speed to avoid what they had in mind.
Don't do it, Ten Shinhan. Chaos.
Ten Shinhan and Chaos stood up, ignoring the pain coursing through their bodies. With determination, they faced Takagami, resisting his attacks with all their might. Gogeta, seeing the situation, understood the magnitude of the sacrifice they were making.
We cannot disappoint this sacrifice. We have to win this.
While Ten Shinhan and Chaos bravely fought Takagami, Gogeta continued his assault with the intensity intact. The battle was taking place on two fronts, with the Earth Warriors sacrificing themselves to provide the necessary opening. Goku and Vegeta, as he approached, their hearts were filled with sorrow and gratitude towards Ten Shinhan and Chaos. Gogeta, with supersonic speed, approached the scene where Ten Shinhan and Chaos were bravely facing Takagami. His gaze reflected the mixture of determination and regret, knowing that the sacrifices of his teammates were the key to victory.
Hold on a little longer, guys. Let's put an end to this.
The Saiyan fusion advanced towards Takagami, who, upon seeing Gogeta's arrival, stopped attacking Ten Shinhan and Chaos to confront the fused warrior. The intensity of the battle reached a new level, with attacks and counterattacks echoing across the battlefield. Ten Shinhan, with his remaining strength, took advantage of that distraction to hold Takagami with all his strength, preventing him from moving freely. His face showed determination and resignation at the same time.
Chaos, this is your chance. Make every second I hold this monster worth it.
Chaos, next to Ten Shinhan, nodded weakly. His body showed the ravages of the battle, but his eyes were shining with all the will to do the duty.
Ten Shinhan is right, Gogeta. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Remember that. Goku, Vegeta, take care of our world. This is our last act.
At that moment, Chaos accumulated an immense amount of energy to sacrifice himself. Gogeta, who was very close, were hit by the shock wave of the explosion. Gogeta, recovering from the impact, looked at the place where his companions were with solemnly.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain. I promise.
After what happened, Gogeta raised his head and with an uncontrollable anger increased his ki in such a way that he made the battlefield rumble, making the stones that were in the place fly, making Takagami retreat only with the gusts of air that expanded from his being. In a panning from head to toe, we managed to see Gogeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4, which showed the essence of Ozaru as a kind of aura in blue color, and a more controlled but much more powerful version, a transformation never seen, since they were not able to coordinate their powers to be able to reach said transformation. As Gogeta's energy transformed into a surprising and controlled version of Super Saiyan Blue Stage 4, a brilliant blue essence of Ozaru manifested around him, revealing unparalleled potency. The cosmic landscape trembled before the magnitude of this new form. Goku and Vegeta, witness of this unique transformation, were filled with amazement and determination. It was evident that Gogeta was reaching a level of power never seen before, fusing the essence of Super Saiyan Blue with Ozaru's formidable presence flawlessly. Gogeta, in his new form, turned an intense gaze towards Takagami, whose expression of confidence was overshadowed by surprise. The battle, far from having come to an end, was just beginning in this new phase. The universe was waiting for the outcome of this epic confrontation, where light and darkness collided in a cosmic dance. The promise of a new dawn loomed on the horizon, but the price of triumph was uncertain. Gogeta floated in the sky, surrounded by the imposing energy of his new form. The stars seemed to pale before the intensity of his blue radiance as Takagami recovered from the initial impact and adopted a defensive posture.
What kind of transformation is this? This is the power of those who fight for something greater than themselves.
With a flash, Gogeta disappeared, appearing in front of Takagami in the blink of an eye. The clash of their fists created shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Gogeta's speed and strength were unmatched, surpassing even Takagami's ability to anticipate his blows. Gogeta and Takagami exchanged blows and energy blasts at breakneck speed. Each impact resounded like cosmic thunder, creating an epic symphony on planet Earth.
Your attempt to revive your so-called gods ends here, Takagami. But you're a bug in the face of the greatness of my power.
In an instant, Gogeta unleashed a burst of concentrated energy, enveloping Takagami in a whirlwind of light and force. When the light dissipated, Takagami emerged unharmed, but with a more serious expression.
Interesting, but not enough.
The battle was reaching cosmic levels, with ripples of energy spreading across the far reaches of the universe. Meanwhile, the other Z warriors watched the sky, appreciating Gogeta's great power of display and Takagami's resilience and viciousness. The roar of battle echoed in every corner of the universe. Gogeta and Takagami, wrapped in an endless dance of energy, continued their titanic confrontation. Space twisted and trembled under the influence of their powers, creating distortions itself. Bursts of energy expanded like lightning, illuminating the darkness of the night sky with dazzling flashes. Each blow between the two contenders seemed to release an explosion of energy that spread in concentric waves, setting the frantic pace of the cosmic battle. Away from the battlefield, the others watched in anguish and admiration. Bulma, with a mixture of fear and hope in her eyes, clung to the hope that Gogeta would prevail.
Come on, Gogeta, you must win! For all of us!
Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Gogeta and Takagami continued their fierce exchange. Determination burned in Gogeta's eyes, while Takagami maintained a defiant smile, though his expression hid a growing unease.
This is for the price you pay for defying the peace of the universe.
With a swift movement, Gogeta vanished and reappeared behind Takagami, launching an energy-charged punch straight at his back. But Takagami, anticipating, quickly spun around and blocked the attack with the dark energy shield.
Haha! Is that all you got?
In response, Gogeta intensified his assault, unleashing a continuous flurry of punches and kicks. Each impact resounded like thunder. But Takagami, though outmatched in speed, resisted with his dark power, countering the attacks with deft movements. During the scuttle, Takagami took advantage of the prevalent moment of openness and opened up a launched energy bolt straight for Gogeta's chest. The resulting explosion shook the universe and Gogeta was thrown backwards, leaving a trail of blue energy.
Is that all hope can do?
Gogeta recovered quickly, stood up with determination. The glow of his transformation increased even more.
This is far from over.
The battle continued, leading them again to display an ever-increasing amount of power. In this fury, Gogeta unleashed power that defied the laws of the universe, and Takagami, despite his arrogance, began to show signs of concern. The tension was palpable. The Z warriors felt the intensity of the confrontation, even when they were a long distance away from where the battle for the future of the planet was taking place. Piccolo was seriously watching, calculating every move and thinking at some point this battle, which was far from over, would be a favorable outcome. Piccolo, in his thoughts,
Goku, Vegeta, we trust you. You must win this battle.
The battle reached a new climax when Gogeta and Takagami met at an eminent point in the battle. The energy emanated from them, illuminating the vastness of the dark sky, creating a dazzling spectacle of colors and flashes.
You cannot escape darkness. Darkness will never prevail over light. You're a fool if you think your light can eclipse my power.
Suddenly, a voice echoed in Gogeta's mind, a familiar but distant voice.
Gogeta, do not underestimate your enemy. Truth lies within strength.
The transmission abruptly cut off, leaving Gogeta bewildered. Before he could reflect on it, however, Takagami lunged towards him with surprising speed, unleashing a series of punches and kicks that left Gogeta struggling to keep up. At that moment, a fleeting image flashed through Gogeta's mind, a vision of his loved ones, of his purpose, and the responsibility he carried on his shoulders. the energy of the transformation fanned, and Gogeta, with newfound determination, struck back with renewed ferocity.
This is the limit of your tyranny, Takagami. The limit's up to you, Gogeta, and your limit is my power.
Suddenly, the sky around him fragmented, and multiple distorted versions of Takagami emerged from the dimensional rifts, each with a malevolent grin.
You cannot defeat me, Gogeta. I am eternal. I'm a god. You may be powerful, but I'm not alone in this.
The battle reached a new intensity as multiple distorted incarnations of Takagami surrounded Gogeta. Each emanated a dark energy that defied the laws of the universe. The air itself seemed to vibrate with the pressure of their combined presences. At that precise moment, Goku and Vegeta's fusion had come to an end due to the amount of power they had used in order to stand up to Takagami. Goku and Vegeta, although they had returned to their individual forms after the fusion, knew that the key by defeating Takagami lay in perfect unity and coordination.
Vegeta, we're in this together. Let's give all our power to be able to confront him so we can free Yamcha from this so-called god. Yes, Kakarot, this insect will not defeat us.
The Z Warriors watched in amazement, aware that the fate of the universe hung in the balance. Piccolo analyzed this situation, looking for any weaknesses that could be exploited. The others prepared to act if the opportunity presented itself. Goku and Vegeta, now separated, their fusion as Gogeta, faced Takagami with determination in their eyes. The dark presence of the supposed god loomed over them, but the Saiyans were determined to free Yamcha and put an end to the threat he posed.
Vegeta, we need to coordinate our attacks. We've always been stronger when we fight together. For once, I agree with you, Kakarot. This insect will pay for what he did.
The two Saiyans lunged towards Takagami, attacking with a combination of punches and ki blasts. Takagami, though powerful, was momentarily overwhelmed by the timing of the two warriors. However, his sinister laugh echoed across the battlefield.
Your union will change nothing. My power is unlimited.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged glances, realizing that the situation was more serious than they had imagined. Takagami unleashed a wave of dark energy that sent them flying, but they quickly recovered, ready to continue the fight. The Z Warriors watched with concern. Gohan, though a bit intimidated by Takagami's power, maintained his unwavering determination. Piccolo, with his keen intelligence, pointed out a possible weakness.
It seems his power is linked to some source. We must find a way to break that connection.
Goten and Trunks, who had arrived along with Gohan, eager to join the battle, looked at their parents with concern. However, Piccolo stopped them.
Guys, we need a plan before we launch into battle. Your strength will be crucial at the right time.
While the Z Warriors thought of a plan, Goku and Vegeta continued their fierce assault against Takagami. Every time it seemed they were about to defeat him, his power increased and the evil emanating from him intensified.
Ha 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 ha! Your resistance is useless. My power thrives on despair and suffering. Then we must find a way to change that. Vegeta, we need to attack together, but with a strategy. You're finally thinking clearly, Kakarot. Let's do it.
The two Saiyans, coordinating their movements, executed a series of synchronized attacks. Although Takagami was defending himself skillfully, he began to show signs of discomfort. The connection between his power and the external source seemed to be faltering. At that instant, Piccolo noticed the opportunity.
Now is the time. Gohan, wait for the opening we'll give you so you can attack. Goten, Trunks, follow me on my signal.
Gohan nodded, conveying a look of confidence to his friends. Goten and Trunks prepared to act on Piccolo's directions.
Everyone, let's send our energies to Goku and Vegeta. We must strengthen their connection and weaken Takagami's source of power.
The Z Warriors gathered their energies and, with a coordinated effort, sent a stream of ki skyward. Goku and Vegeta, sensing the surge of power, seized the opportunity.
They're doing it! Come on, Vegeta!
The connection between Goku, Vegeta, and the Z Warriors created a unique synergy. Energy flowed through them, strengthening their resolve and weakening Takagami's external source of power.
This can't be happening!
The darkness surrounding Takagami began to dissipate, due to the large amount of energy they were receiving from their friends. Piccolo, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, observing the battle, noticed the opportunity to intervene.
Now, guys, let's go!
Goten and Trunks took flight into the sky where Goku and Vegeta were, joining the fight against Takagami. With the energy of the Z-Warriors strengthening the connection between Goku and Vegeta, the real battle was about to begin. The fusion of powers of the Saiyans between father and son created an explosion of energy that enveloped Takagami. The fight intensified, but now, with hope and determination as their allies, Goku, Vegeta, Goten, and Trunks were ready to face the Dark God and free the universe from his evil domain. The burst of energy that enveloped Takagami reverberated throughout the universe. The fusion of the powers of Goku, Vegeta, and his sons created a symphony of forces, illuminating the sky with a brilliant radiance that defied the darkness Takagami had tried to impose. Takagami, enveloped in the luminescence of the combined energy, struggled to maintain his composure. The connection between his power and the source of his power, Yamcha, was weakening with every second, and his sinister laugh began to turn into growls of frustration.
We're making progress, Vegeta!
Yes, but let's not let our guard down. It's not over.
As the Saiyans continued their coordinated offensive, Goten and Trunks and their Super Saiyan forms joined the battle. The pressure on Takagami intensified, as he now faced not only the two adult Saiyans, but also that of his sons. The coordination between them was impressive, and every move was backed by the combined strength of the Z-Warriors.
Dad, Vegeta, we're here to help. Let's show this guy that the Saiyan family is unstoppable.
The trio of Saiyans, with their different levels of expertise and abilities, formed a united front against Takagami. The battle was getting more and more intense, with bursts of energy and flurries of attacks lighting up space like a celestial spectacle. Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, and the others channeled their energies to strengthen the connection between the Saiyans and, at the same time, searched for weaknesses in Takagami's defense.
We must keep the pressure on and look for any opportunity to unbalance Takagami.
Dad, Vegeta, Goten, Trunks, we all trust you. Let's defeat this enemy together.
In space, the synergy between the Saiyans reached its peak. Goku and Vegeta, with the energy of their sons and the Z-Warriors, fused their attacks in an amazing display of power. Takagami, despite his resistance, began to give ground.
This is not possible! I'm a god! I cannot be defeated!
The connection between his power and the external source was on the verge of collapse. The Saiyans, sensing Takagami's weakness, redoubled their efforts. Goten, Trunks, guided by Piccolo's strategy, attacked from unexpected angles, while Goku and Vegeta continued their frontal assault. Piccolo noticed a key opportunity.
Now, Gohan, it's your time!
Gohan, in his final form ready to take advantage of the opportunity, concentrated his energy and launched himself into the confrontation. With surprising speed, he joined the fight alongside Goku, Vegeta, Goten, and Trunks.
Let's finish this, Dad!
The symphony of energy between the Z-Warriors and the Saiyans reached its climax. Takagami, beset on all sides, struggled to stand, and the skies erupted in an explosion of light and darkness as the heroes joined forces to confront the Dark God. The battle reached its climax, and every move decided the fate of the universe. The Z-Warriors from Earth watched with eagerness and hope, knowing that victory was within reach, but also aware that the final fight was yet to come. With the Saiyans and the Z-Warriors facing Takagami in a cosmic confrontation. However, amidst the chaos of battle, a small distraction allowed Takagami to strike back with furiosity. Goten and Trunks, focused on following Piccolo's strategy, attacked from different angles. However, in a moment of minimal distraction, Takagami seized the opportunity and launched a surprise counterattack. With quick and precise movements, the Dark God managed to evade Goten and Trunks' attacks, countering them with punches and energy blasts.
Ha ha ha! Your efforts are useless, children! I'm the all-consuming darkness!
Goten and Trunks, though agile and powerful, found themselves in a precarious situation. Takagami, with his speed and cunning, left the young Saiyans struggling to keep up.
We have to protect them!
Takagami's concentration of power is increasing. We need to regroup and find a strategy to counter his moves.
Meanwhile, in the sky, Goten and Trunks, despite the setbacks, continued to fight bravely. They tried to coordinate their attacks, but Takagami's speed and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge.
Trunks, we have to stay focused!
I know, but this guy's stronger than I imagined! In an unexpected twist, Takagami launched a blast of dark energy that hit Goten and Trunks, leaving them badly injured. Both Saiyans fell backwards with obvious signs of exhaustion and pain.
Goten! Trunks!
This damned Dark God!
The adult Saiyans intensified their assault, determined to avenge their momentary fall of their sons. Takagami, however, taking advantage of the confusion and despair that gripped the Z Warriors, rejoiced in his newly strengthened power.
This is how the heroes of the universe give up. They may fight, but in the end, darkness will always prevail.
The result was becoming even more tense. The Z Warriors, though determined, were facing the reality that their fight was far from over. Goten and Trunks, wounded but not defeated, were struggling to recover and rejoin the battle.
We need a new approach. Takagami's strength increases with each passing moment.
We'll protect Goten and Trunks. We'll not let the darkness prevail.
The battle, now more critical than ever, was plunging into a desperate confrontation where the survival of the universe hung in the balance. Gohan, observing the critical situation of his brother Goten and Trunks, could not contain the fury that burned within him. A flash of anger crossed his eyes, and his energy rose to levels that would leave even the most experienced Saiyans dumbfounded. He lunged towards Takagami with shocking speed, ignoring any concern for his own safety.
With this price, you'll pay for hurting my family!
His speed and furiosity impressed everyone on the battlefield. Every blow he delivered carried with it a pent-up rage of a protective brother. Takagami, though initially surprised, adapted to the intensity of Gohan's attacks.
Do you think your anger can stop me?
I'm going to protect my family and the entire universe from your darkness!
The battle between Gohan and Takagami unleashed an energy storm in space. Goku and Vegeta watched in awe and fear as the conflict reached levels that defied comprehension. Despite their determination, they realized they were facing a power beyond anything they had faced before.
This kid, his power is amazing!
We can't let Gohan fight alone. We must support him.
As Gohan continued his relentless assault, Takagami showed a significant improvement in his defensive ability. Every blow was met with inhuman prowess. The battle reached a point where the universe itself seemed to be on the verge of collapse. The epic confrontation between Gohan and Takagami pushed the Saiyan warrior to the limit of his abilities. Despite Gohan's bravery and skill, the Dark God, with unmatched cunning and speed, found an opening in his defense. With a graceful twist, Takagami unleashed a ripping attack, a blast of dark energy that sliced through the air with a malevolent precision. Gohan, surprised by the speed and ferocity of the attack, barely had time to react. The energy wave hit Gohan full on, enveloping him in an explosion of light and darkness. The force of the impact threw Goku's eldest son backwards, causing him to stagger, desperately struggling to stay on his feet. The dark energy left its mark on Gohan's body, marking him with deep, tearing wounds.
Ah! This can't be so strong!
Takagami, with a sinister smile, hovered in the air, observing the result of his devastating attack. The black energy around him seemed to vibrate with satisfaction as Gohan tried to recover.
This is the power you praise so much. You're no match for me, Gohan.
Goku and Vegeta, witnessing the scene from a distance, gritted their teeth helplessly. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment. Goten and Trunks, still injured but recovering, were prepared to rejoin the fight.
Gohan! This damned! We can't let this continue!
Goten and Trunks, sensing the urgency of the situation, approached Gohan to help him. Despite his own injuries, determination shone in his eyes.
Brother, are you alright? Yes, but we need a new approach. We're not going to let this guy get away with this.
Meanwhile, Piccolo and the other Z Warriors were also assessing the situation, looking for any opportunity to change the course of the battle. The pressure on them was mounting, and the need to find an effective strategy was becoming more apparent.
We have to work together. Gohan, can you keep fighting?
Gohan nodded, ignoring the pain coursing through his body. His determination had not dulled, on the contrary. Takagami's imminent threat stoked it.
I can't give up, but we need a strategy. Something that could surprise him.
Surprise him, you say?
As the Z Warriors immersed themselves in strategy to counter Takagami, a small distraction took over the battlefield. Goten and Trunks, aware of the need of a different approach, exchanged determined glances. Without saying a word, they assumed the familiar fusion dance stance. The other warriors, immersed in their tactics, barely noticed the sudden disappearance of Goten and Trunks as they performed the fusion. The energy around them condensed into a brilliant flash that revealed Gotenks, Super Saiyan, the powerful fusion of the two young Saiyans.
Ready to give this guy a surprise!
With impressive speed, Gotenks launched himself towards Takami, who was momentarily startled by the new presence on the battlefield. Gotenks, with his characteristic air of self-sufficiency, began to unleash a series of swift and agile attacks, challenging the Dark God with renewed energy.
Here I come!
Takami, however, far from being intimidated, smiled sinisterly. With a casual gesture, he deflected Gotenks' attacks as if toying with him.
Is that all you've got, you little fused insect?
Gotenks persisted, intensifying his attacks, trying to find an opening in Takagami's defense. However, the Dark God, with a graceful move, countered each blow with ease.
Come on! It can't be!
In the moment of distraction, Takagami took advantage of the situation. With impressive speed, he launched a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gotenks before he could react. The resulting explosion threw Gotenks backwards, knocking him to the ground unconscious and disfigured.
Gotenks!
This is worse than we thought.
Takagami, now more confident of his superiority, hovered in the air, glaring at the defeated warriors. Goten and Trunks, still unconscious, lay on the ground as Takagami revealed in his moment of victory.
Ha 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 ha! Is this all you offer, Z Warriors? Your desperation only increases my power.
With the outlook darkened by Gotenks' momentary defeat, attention turned to Gohan, who, badly wounded but driven by an inner strength, began to radiate intense energy. The pain in his body seemed to fuel his determination, and a wild golden glow enveloped as his ki reached never-before-seen levels. In the blink of an eye, Gohan transformed into Super Saiyan Phase 3, a form of awesome power that surprised even Takagami. Gohan's hair grew out of control, his muscles swelled, and his expression reflected a mixture of pain and fierce determination.
What is this? A new trick?
Gohan, with a wild roar, launched himself towards Takagami with shocking speed. The force of his blows and the intensity of his attacks shook the battlefield, creating a storm of energy around him. The conflict between light and darkness took on a new dimension as Gohan challenged the limits of his own power.
You're going to pay for what you've done!
The confrontation between Gohan in his Super Saiyan Phase 3 form and Takagami marked a drastic change in the intensity of the battle. The skies, previously serene, witness of the confrontation, darkened with the energy unleashed by both combatants. And each blow resounded like thunder in the vast and silent cosmic space, defying the tranquility of the stars watching from a distance. The explosions of energy briefly illuminated the darkness, creating a chaotic and majestic spectacle at the same time. The flashes of light and shadow intertwined in a frantic dance that reflected the ferocity of the combat. The shockwaves spread out in the distance, distorting space itself and recalling the magnitude of the power unleashed on that battlefield. Each movement was a ballet of strength and dexterity, with Gohan and Takagami challenging each other in a battle that transcended the physical, entering the realms of the mystical and the epic. Their cries of determination were lost amid the din of battle, but their spirits echoed in every exchange of blows, making it clear that this confrontation was not just for dominance or survival, but for the legacy of their lineages and the protection of their worlds. Gohan, his eyes shining with an indomitable determination, channeled all his power in every movement, leaving a trail of energy that shimmered with a force that defied the limits of the unimaginable. His taut muscles, his golden aura glowing with intensity, made him an unstoppable force that sought justice and protection for all those he loved and defended.
You will not escape my justice, Takagami! My determination's like an unbreakable torrent that'll sweep away any darkness you try to sow. Every blow I throw carries with it the strength of all those I protect and defend. I'll not rest until the truth shines on every shadow you've woven with your deceptions. Get ready to face the justice I bring.
Gohan roared with fiery fury, his voice echoing across the battlefield like an echo of the very protective will drive him. Every blow he threw carried with it the emotional burden of years of struggle and sacrifice, the determination of a hero willing to do anything for the well-being of his world and his loved ones. On the other hand, Takami, with his characteristic agility and calculated cunning, dodged Gohan's attacks with fluid and precise movements. His cold and calculating gaze contrasted with the ferocity of the Saiyan, unveiling an enemy who did not underestimate the threat he faced.
Interesting. I see that the power of the Saiyan pride still burns deep in your being, Gohan, but let me tell you this. However intense it may be, will not be enough to defy the chains of your inevitable fate.
Between each exchange of blows and dodges, the battlefield turned into an epic scenario where two titans collided, not only with their bodies, but with their convictions and purposes. The fate of both was intertwined in a deadly dance where determination, skill, and strength merged in a conflict that transcended the physical and went deep into their warriors' souls. The clash of energies was so intense that the Z warriors felt the pressure and overwhelming weight of the unfolding confrontation. The magnitude of the conflict resonated in every corner of the known universe, like an echo of power that transcended planetary barriers and penetrated the very heart of those who were fighting for survival and justice. The fluctuations in ki were palpable, even to those watching from a distance, like a symphony of opposing forces colliding in a chaotic but harmonious dance. Every member of the Z Warriors could feel the electricity in the air, the tension that preceded every strategic move and every heartbreaking blow. The earth trembled under the influence of the unleashed energy, as if the world itself was responding to the duel of titans being waged on its surface. The skies darkened even more, as if the universe itself was holding its breath at the magnificence and terror of that epic contest. In those moments of crisis, the Z Warriors' determination grew even stronger, fueled by the urgency to protect what they loved and to face any adversity with courage and conviction. It was a reminder that during chaos and destruction, the human spirit could shine with an unshakable light. Piccolo, with his strategic mind sharper as a razor, watched every move with meticulous attention. Every gesture, every spark of unleashed energy carried with it the promise of a decisive change during the battle. His intense and serene gaze concealed a precise calculation as he searched for the perfect opportunity to intervene in support of his disciple. Piccolo, with his gaze lost on the horizon as he pondered the situation deeply, added in a calm but determined voice,
Gohan is channeling an incredible power right now. If we manage to amplify their energy and coordinate a joint attack, we could tip the scales in our favor and find the opportunity we need to change the course of this battle.
His mind worked like a meticulous clock, evaluating possibilities and strategies during the chaos that was unleashed in front of him. Meanwhile, at the epicenter of the conflict, Gohan and Takami continued their titanic duel, each determined to impose their will and determination on the other. Gohan's transformation into Super Saiyan Stage 3 not only gave him enormous strength, but also imposed a demanding tribute in terms of energy and physical endurance. Gohan, his breathing agitated by the effort and intensity of the moment, expressed with determination in his voice between short breaths, "His power! It's overwhelming! But I must stand firm! I can't fail!" Every word resonated with an unwavering commitment as he prepared to face the ordeal ahead of her, his aura glowing with a mixture of exhaustion and relentless resolve. His spirit stood like a burning flame during the storm, braving adversities with a determination that sprang from the core of his being. On the other hand, Takami, with his arrogant smile and calculated movements, responded to every attack of Gohan with an inordinate confidence in his own dexterity and power. Takami, with a voice imbued with superiority and a tone that denoted his absolute confidence in his words, defiantly replied,
Admiral, but naive. Your determination's remarkable, Gohan, but you must understand that no force in this universe can change your destiny.
His voice resonated with an assurance that seemed to defy all opposition, marking a gap between confidence in his power and Gohan's will. His self-assurance was impenetrable as the toughest steel, a psychological barrier that defied even the storms of energy roaring around him. The confrontation was coming to a head as the Z Warriors, with a mixture of worry and palpable hope in their hearts, prepared to intervene at the precise moment that could change the course of the battle. Vegeta, with his intense and analytical gaze, watched every flash of power unleashed by Gohan with a mixture of admiration and concern in his eyes. Vegeta, with his analytical and sharp mind, was muttering to himself in a barely audible tone due to the palpable tension in the air.
Gohan's unleashing an incredible power.
His words were a whisper, charged with respect and concern, acknowledging the magnitude of the power that Gohan was unleashing at that critical moment.
But he must maintain control if he wants to survive this,
he added with a seriousness that reflected his experience in past battles and his understanding of the dangers of losing control over so much unleashed energy. Goku, the legendary warrior who knows the limits and beyond, nodded solemnly at Vegeta's words. Goku, with a calmness that radiated experience and wisdom, recognized with respect in his voice, "We know what it's like to fight at the limit, but Gohan's showing exceptional courage that inspires us all." His words resonated with the depth of one who has faced countless challenges, understanding the nature of struggle and the sacrifice it entails. With admiration palpable in his tone, recognizing the courage and determination of his son during adversity, his voice, serene but full of respect, reflected the confidence in Gohan's potential to overcome any obstacle. Meanwhile, the energy flowing through Gohan was reaching its peak, manifesting itself in an impressive visual spectacle. Its golden aura radiated an intense light that illuminated the surrounding space, making even the distant stars seem to pale in comparison. Gohan, with a roar full of determination that echoed throughout the battlefield, exclaimed with fervor, addressed to his father and Vegeta, "Father! Vegeta! All of you! This power is to protect you all!" His voice carried with an emotional charge of his commitment to the protection of his loved ones, a promise that manifested itself in every flash of his glowing aura, and in every blow aimed at the darkness that threatened his world. His voice, echoing like an echo of hope amid the chaos of battle, his energy, instead of just being destructive, became a beacon of hope for his allies, instilling strength and determination in their hearts. The buildup of energy finally reached its peak when Gohan unleashed a combined attack so powerful that it seemed to tear the very fabric of space. The surprise on Takagami's face was palpable, reflecting the magnitude of the force unleashed by the young Saiyan.
"Impossible! I can't believe the magnitude of your strength, Gohan! You've unweakened a power that defies all my expectations and strategies so far. But you haven't witnessed everything I can do yet. My abilities are not limited to what you've witnessed so far. And I still have cards to play in this game. Get ready to find out that I'm not as easy an opponent to defeat. The true essence of my power is about to be revealed, and I assure you that it'll surprise you. The battle's only just begun, young Saiyan."
The resulting explosion temporarily blinded everyone present, enveloping the battlefield in a dazzling light that eclipsed even the brightest stars in the firmament. As the luminescence slowly faded away, it revealed an impressive but also disturbing scene. Gohan, still in his Super Saiyan Stage 3 form, was still standing, his figure slender but visibly exhausted at the limit of his strength. "What? Was that enough?" He was panting between short breaths, his eyes reflecting a determination that defied the fatigue that overwhelmed him. But Takagami emerged from the rubble with a defiant smile on his face, was making it clear that the battle was far from over.
"You're barely scratching the surface, Gohan. Your power is awesome, but you can't beat the darkness that is hanging over you. Your determination's commendable, but the real battle is beyond what you can imagine. My shadows are deeper, and my power is vaster than you think. Get ready to face the true essence of the dark power."
Gohan's energy was fluctuating, a clear sign that his transformation was reaching its limit. The Z Warriors watched with anxiety and determination as the battle reached a critical point. Victory seemed elusive, but their fighting spirit remained unwavering in the darkness that threatened to devour them all. "No! I can't give up! This power! It's to protect everyone! To my family! To the earth!" Each word came out between agitated breaths, but charged with an unwavering determination, revealing the deep sense of responsibility and love that drove their struggle. His voice, though weakened by the effort, resounded with a firmness that defined the adversities he faced.
"Oh, what a pathetic nobility! Do you think you can fight my darkness with simple desires for protection? Your strength is impressive, but your naivety condemns you. Don't you understand that in this world, nobility and desires for protection are as fragile as glass in front of the tide? No matter how much power you possess, the darkness will always find a crack through which to infiltrate and corrupt everything you value. It's only a matter of time before you realize the futility of your efforts, Gohan.
Gohan, his aura flickering, braced himself for another assault, feeling every fiber of his being burning with determination. However, the accumulated fatigue and the marked wounds on his skin were beginning to take their toll, weighing like chains on his struggle. Every move was a battle against exhaustion and pain, a test of endurance that tested his courage and perseverance. The vision of Takagami, his implacable enemy, distorted slightly before his fatigued eyes, reflecting not only the tumult of the physical battle, but also the dark and twisted connection Takagami maintained with the source of power that fed him. This connection, like a cursed bond, gave Takagami a ruthless strength, but also dragged him into the maelstrom of corruption and out of control. During the fray, Gohan found himself facing not only a formidable opponent, but also the shadow of an evil influence that threatened to consume everything. Every blow thrown and blocked resonated with the intensity of an epic battle between light and darkness, between the determination of a hero and the seduction of a dark and forbidden power. Despite the adversities and uncertainty that surrounded him, Gohan clung to hope like the beacon in a storm, remembering the bonds of friendship and love that drove him to move forward. Every beat of his heart resonated with the will to protect what he valued most in the world, facing the challenge with courage and sacrifice, knowing that true strength lay in his indomitable spirit and in his determination to never give up in the face of the darkness that threatened his world and soul.
Gohan, don't wear yourself out too much. Stay focused and in control. Remember, that true strength lies not only in raw power, but in the ability to stay calm and think strategically amid chaos. Do not underestimate your opponent, and do not get carried away by blind rage. That determination must be backed by intelligence and control. Make every hit count, and don't get distracted from your goal.
His words, full of advice and warnings, sought to remind Gohan of the importance of the mind in battle, in addition to physical strength.
The Super Saiyan Phase 3 form consumes a lot of energy. Gohan needs to find a balance between his power and his stamina. He must learn to control the flow of his ki to maintain his strength without exhausting himself quickly. The key is efficiency. Every movement must be precisely calculated and executed to maximize the impact without wasting energy. It's a challenge to master this state, but if Gohan manages to find that harmony, his potential will be truly formidable.
His words, full of experience and knowledge, sought to guide Gohan towards a better understanding of how to use his power without compromising his endurance in battle. As Gohan and Takagami continued their confrontation, Goku's eyes, a symbol of hope for everyone, shone with determination during the intense strife. His strategic mind was working at full speed, analyzing every move of his son and enemies to find the perfect crack in Takagami's defense. Every glimmer in his gaze reflects years of training, epic battles, and an unwavering desire to protect those he loved. In the distance, Vegeta stood in a fighting position, his Saiyan pride burning like an unstoppable flame. His defiant aura and combat experience combined into a formidable force, ready to unleash his power at the precise moment. Piccolo, with his calculated serenity, was watching the battle with sharp eyes, ready to strategically intervene and balance the scales in favor of his comrades. Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, were in the middle of the recovery process after the intense confrontation against Takagami. Despite their damage received, his determination did not waver. Both focused on channeling their ki with precision, taking advantage of every breath to restore their energies and strengthen their bodies. Goten, with his indomitable spirit and his face marked with determination, closed his eyes with concentration as he felt the flow of vital energy revitalize his fatigued muscles. "We have to be ready to return to the battle at any moment," he thought to himself, remembering the responsibility he shared with his friend Trunks to protect his family and his home. On the other hand, Trunks, with his mind focused and his ki shining with renewed intensity, was striving to reach an optimal state of recovery.
We can't afford to let our guard down,
he reflected, aware of the challenges they still faced and the need to be prepared to face any adversity that stood in their way. Both young warriors knew that the battle was not over yet. With determination in their hearts and their ki channeling with precision, they were preparing for the next chapter in their fight for the protection of their world.
Gohan's giving his best. His strength and determination are impressive, but we need to find an opening to channel more energy towards him and empower his power to the fullest. We must all join forces and find a way to support him in this crucial battle. Our connection as a family and as a team is our greatest strength. Let's make every hit and every effort count to protect our home and those we love.
His words, full of determination and hope, reflected his confidence in the team's ability to overcome any challenge when working together.
Your resistance is admirable, but useless. My power is absolute. No matter how much they fight, they won't be able to stop me. My strength is unshakable, and my determination relentless. There is no escape from my dominion. It's time for you to give up and accept your fate under my control.
Every word was loaded with arrogance and certainty as Takagami continued to unleash his dark power with ruthless ferocity. Gohan, with a superhuman effort, managed to deflect Takagami's attacks and counterattacked with a burst of brilliant energy. The collision of powers created a shockwave that shook the nearby atmosphere.
I will not allow you to destroy what I love. My bonds and my strength are greater than any darkness you could throw. I'm ready to face any challenge and overcome any obstacle to ensure a secure future for everyone. There will be no place for destruction in my world.
Your emotions make you weak, Gohan. The real strength lies in the darkness. Your love and your bonds are chains that prevent you from reaching your true potential. Don't you see that the darkness offers unlimited and unrestricted power? Abandon your illusions of grandeur, young Saiyan. Face the truth that only darkness can bring you true strength and absolute dominion over the world.
Every word was imbued with an icy arrogance and a fanatical belief in the corrupting power of darkness. Takagami sought to sow doubts and weakness in Gohan's mind, challenging his conception of strength and courage. The struggle became more intense with each pressing moment. Gohan, despite showing obvious exhaustion with every short breath, remained firm and undetermined, refusing to back down from the challenge Takagami posed. His eyes reflected an unwavering determination as he faced the malevolent machinations of his enemy. However, Takagami's evil cunning was revealed in all its magnitude when he began to manipulate the environment around him with dark mastery. The dark creatures had summoned with his sinister magic were already at the edge of the surface, ready to emerge and join the battle with uncontrollable ferocity. The air was charged with an ominous presence as the shadows of those creatures danced unexpectedly, eager to join the conflict and show their destructive power. Faced with the imminent threat, the Z warriors did not hesitate to prepare to face these creatures that represented an unknown but tangible danger. Vegeta, with his characteristic defiant tone, exclaimed as he adjusted his combat posture,
"I'll not allow those abominations to ruin our path to victory. It's time to show them the true power of a Saiyan."
Piccolo, the group's calm strategist, quickly assessed the situation and proposed a plan of action.
We're facing a cunning enemy who uses manipulation as a weapon. We must act with coordination and precision. Gohan, you now take care of containing the creatures. Vegeta, Goku, keep the pressure on Takagami and don't let him breathe easy.
Goku, with a determined smile on his face, nodded energetically.
We have it, Piccolo. I'm confident that together we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. We're going to give our best.
Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, who were always looking to prove their bravery, exchanged a look of complacency before joining the plan.
Yes, let's show these monsters what it means to be a real team.
Determination shone in the eyes of each Z warrior as they prepared for the upcoming showdown, their hearts resonating with the memory of Ten Shinhan and Chaos's courageous sacrifice. Those moments of heroism and camaraderie resonated like an echo in their souls, reminding them of the price they sometimes had to pay to protect the world they loved. Goku, with a silent bow to his fallen friends, took a moment to remember his valuable lessons of courage and determination. Our friend showed us that even in the darkest moments, we can find the strength to face any challenge. His sacrifice will not be in vain as long as we keep fighting and keep the flame of hope alive in our hearts. Every blow we take, every obstacle we face is proof of our determination and our commitment to a better future. We'll not let his sacrifice be forgotten. Let's keep fighting with all our heart and spirit.
Vegeta, with an intense gaze fixed on the horizon, added solemnly,
Every battle teaches us something new. We must honor his memory by overcoming our limits, protecting this world, not only for ourselves, but for those who are no longer there.
Piccolo, the serene strategist, reflected on the importance of learning from each experience.
Every battle, every loss, strengthens us and teaches us to be better warriors. Let's move forward with determination and wisdom.
Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, full of energy and competitive spirit, exchanged a look of respect towards the heroes of the past.
We're going to make their bravery and sacrifice worthwhile. We'll fight with everything we have.
The memory of Ten Shinhan and Chaos became a flame that fanned the determination and fighting spirit of the Z Warriors. With their hearts united in a common purpose, they prepared to face the next challenge with the strength of those who came before them, ready to write the next chapter in the history of defending the Earth against the forces of evil. The battle reached unprecedented levels of intensity, with every move unleashing a wave of energy that shook the battlefield. Gohan, with his indomitable spirit, led the charge against the emerging shadows, channeling his ki into powerful explosions that dispelled the creatures one after another. Every flash of light harbored the determination to protect their loved ones and their home from the darkness that threatened to consume them.
Mr. Piccolo, behind you! Watch your back! The enemy's trying to surprise us with sneak attacks! We can't afford to let our guard down for 1 second in this battle! Our togetherness is our greatest strength, and together, we'll overcome any challenge that comes our way! I trust in your strategic wisdom, Mr. Piccolo, but I'm also here to support you in every move! Let's move forward with determination and protect what we value with all our might!
Piccolo responded quickly, deflecting the attack with an energy shield.
Thank you, Gohan. Your quick alertness and attention to detail are crucial in this battle. Our coordination and communication are what will keep us one step ahead in the face of our enemies. Let's keep working together. Every move counts in this matchup.
By his side, Piccolo displayed his tactical ingenuity with mastery, drawing lines of defense and counterattack with pinpoint accuracy. His strategies were like chess moves on the battlefield, anticipating the enemy's moves and coordinating attacks to maximize the impact. Between them, an almost perfect synchronicity is woven, where Gohan's brute force found balance at Piccolo's strategic cunning.
Vegeta, get ready for our combined attack! We can't hold any back anymore! It's time to deploy all our power and show them what we're capable of! Together, we're unstoppable, Vegeta! Let's prove once again why we're the most powerful Z Warriors in the universe! Let's go!
You don't need to tell me, Kakaroto. I'm always ready for the combat. Our combined power will overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. Get ready to witness the true strength of the Saiyan race. Let's go!
Every clash of powers, every rumble of explosions resounded like a chant of resistance, bravery during chaos. The bounds of camaraderie and trust between the Z Warriors were strengthened by adversity, reminding them that together they were more than the sum of their individual abilities. In this ballet of strength and strategy, where each movement had the weight of survival and the hope of a future in which light would prevail over shadows. Vegeta and Goku, in their eternal friendly rivalry forged in countless battles, coordinated their attacks with an almost telepathic synchronization. Like two warriors who share a unique and deep bond, their fiery determination was reflected in every move, every punch, and every burst of energy they threw at their formidable opponent, Takami.
Goku, it's time to unite our powers to take down this guy once and for all. We'll not allow it to continue sowing chaos and destruction. Our combined strength will be their undoing. Take this, Takagami! This is the end that awaits you for challenging the Z Warriors.
I'm with you, Vegeta. There's no turning back now. Together, we'll put an end to this threat once and for all. Let's get him!
The latter, a formidable adversary in his own right, was forced to quickly divert his attention between dodging the quick and precise strikes of the Saiyans and dealing with the strategic cunning of Gohan and the tactical prowess of Piccolo.
Don't underestimate my power, Saiyans. My abilities go beyond what you can imagine. Your determination's admirable, but it won't be enough to stop me. Get ready to know the true darkness that resides in this universe.
The frantic dance of attacks and defenses between the protagonists became a ballet of opposing forces, where speed and power merged into an unparalleled combat choreography. Each shock of energy unleashed explosions of ki that lit up the sky like shooting stars on a stormy night, painting the firmament with flashes of power and determination. The battlefield was transformed into an epic scenario where the fates of the combatants were intertwined in a cosmic drama of legendary proportions.
Gohan, now's your time to shine. Use this opportunity to show your true power and determination. We're all counting on you to turn the tide of this battle. Don't hold back. Give your best and make every hit count. The fate of everyone depends on your courage and strength in this crucial moment.
Come on, Dad! Mr. Piccolo! We won't stop until we beat you! Our determination's stronger than ever, and together, we're unstoppable! This is our moment to show that together, we can overcome any obstacle! Let's trust in our bonds, and fight with everything we have!
Meanwhile, Gohan's relentless determination and Piccolo's tactical wisdom added layers of complexity to the conflict, consistently challenging Takagami's strategies and moves. The intensity of the confrontation reached its peak, and with each hero and villain deploying their maximum potential in search of victory. Amid the chaos of battle, friendship and honor and inner strength shone as beacons of hope in a universe fraught with unfathomable challenges and dangers. Goten and Trunks, following the meticulous plan laid out by Piccolo to the latter, demonstrated a perfect synchronization that bordered on the supernatural. As young Saiyan warriors, their connection was more than a simple strategic alliance. It was the manifestation of a deep and lasting friendship, forged in countless shared trainings and battles. Every movement, every gesture, flowed between them in an innate harmony that only the strongest bonds could sustain.
Goten, your task is to maintain the defensive perimeter. Don't let anything surprise us from behind. Trunks, look for any opportunity to counterattack. We need to take advantage of every gap in their defense to turn the tide in this battle.
Understood, Mr. Piccolo. I'll be attentive and make sure that nothing takes us by surprise.
Following Piccolo's instructions, Goten unleashed bursts of energy with the dexterity and speed typical of the Saiyan lineage.
Come on, Trunks. Let's keep the pressure on. Let's not give up and take every opportunity to move forward.
His attacks were precise and forceful, outlining a defensive perimeter around the group with an intensity that left his opponents breathless. Meanwhile, Trunks, a skilled wielder of the energy sword, executed precise and elegant cuts that perfectly complemented Goten's strategic defense.
Don't let any of them through, Goten. Keep our front safe while we look for weaknesses in their formation. Let's keep pushing.
Each movement drew lines of glowing energy in the air, creating a dynamic and effective wall of protection that neutralized any threat that dared to get too close to their companions. The combination of Goten and Trunks' skills not only demonstrated their individual mastery, but also their ability to work in a team in a fluid and coordinated way. Their actions were not only the result of practice and training, but also of a deep mutual understanding that allowed them to anticipate each other's movements with pinpoint accuracy. On the battlefield, the symbiosis was their greatest strength, making them an unstoppable force that courageously and determinedly defended those considered their family and home. The battle that was being fought was a whirlwind of energy and strategy, where every move had a deep meaning, and every decision impacted on the future of the contest. Goten and Trunks, the young Saiyan warriors, showed amazing coordination as they threw themselves into combat with a mixture of bravery and dexterity. His movements were like a martial dance, fluid and precise, designed to unbalance the dark creatures summoned by Takagami.
Trunks, to your right! Understood.
The voices of the young people echoed among the booms of explosions and the clash of powers. Each exchange of blows was a symphony of ki, a manifestation of the determination not to give ground in the face of the darkness that threatened to engulf them.
Meanwhile, Gohan, with his indomitable spirit, deployed his ki in explosions of controlled energy, creating glowing spheres that exploded with force on impact against the shadows that rushed over them.
We can't give up! Our world depends on this! Every strike, every strategy, everything counts in this crucial battle! Let's keep fighting until the end!
His voice resonated with conviction, injecting courage into his companions. Piccolo, the calm but ruthless strategist, extended his arms with authority, generating defensive barriers that protected the group from surprise attacks. His eyes observed the battlefield with a calculated calm, evaluating every movement of the enemy to find the precise moment to counterattack.
Keep the pressure constant. We cannot allow them to make up ground. Every breakthrough we make is crucial to maintaining our advantage. Keep attacking relentlessly.
The sound of energy crashes and explosions was deafening, but during the chaos, the group's determination and unity shone like beacons of hope in the darkest night. Each of the Z warriors knew that they were not only fighting for their lives, but for the future of their home and the generations to come. Every attack, every block was another step towards victory or defeat, and they were not willing to give in to adversity. Amid the furious fray, every strategic move and every technique deployed by the Z Warriors reflected years of training and experience, as well as a bond of trust and camaraderie that strengthened them in the most difficult moments. The coordination between them was a show of synchronization and dexterity, a chaotic but harmonious dance of attacks and defenses that kept at bay the dark forces that tried to dominate them. However, it was at a crucial moment, when hope seemed to be faltering in the face of Takagami's relentless persistence, that Goku and Vegeta, the legendary Saiyans whose power transcended known limits, demonstrated once again why they were revered as the most powerful warriors in the universe. With millimetric synchronization that only they could achieve after years of training in epic battles, they unleashed a devastating combined attack that shattered Takagami's defenses, leaving them exposed and vulnerable in the face of the final counterattack of the brave defenders of the Earth. The impact of their combined energy resounded on the battlefield like divine thunder, shaking reality itself with its overwhelming power. The energy blasts and shockwaves spread out like a gale, sweeping away any obstacles in their way and marking a decisive turn in the confrontation. The hearts of the Z Warriors swelled with renewed hope as they witnessed the result of the bravery and determination embodied in Goku and Vegeta, who were not only allies, but also rivals, who raised each other to new heights of power and dexterity. This epic moment not only symbolized the brute strength of the legendary Saiyans, but also the depth of their connection as battle companions and friends. Her self-sacrifice and dedication to protecting her home and loved ones shone with an intensity that defied the shadows of despair. With Takagami vulnerable before them, Earth's heroes prepared for the final assault, determined to put an end to the dark threat looming over their world and restore the lost peace. As this crucial opportunity approached, Gohan and Piccolo, two warriors whose togetherness goes beyond simple camaraderie, combine their powers with synchronization and understanding that only the closest battle partners could achieve. With relentless determination and a strategic focus sharp as the edge of a sword, they faced the creatures summoned by Takagami, with a bravery that inspired everyone present on the battlefield.
Mr. Piccolo, keep the rear guard. I'm going to the front. It is crucial to maintain our formation and protect our backs as we move forward towards the main battle. I trust you to keep us safe from behind.
Understood, Gohan. Don't let your guard down. Our coordination is key for being victorious. Stay alert and move forward with determination. Together we'll overcome this challenge.
Gohan's energy, bright and powerful as the sun as it peaks, was intertwined with Piccolo's tactical cunning and dexterity, creating a symphony of power and skill that defied expectations. Each coordinated movement between them was a masterful combined dance, where offensive and defense intertwined in a lethal harmony. The creatures summoned by Takagami, who once posed a formidable threat, now found themselves at a disadvantage in the face of the unbreakable union of these two exceptional warriors. The battlefield lit up with flashes of brilliant energy as Gohan and Piccolo unleashed their full potential, overcoming every obstacle with steely determination and calculated strategies. The trust between them was palpable, a connection that transcended words and manifested itself in every punch and every block. With each enemy defeated, their path to Takagami cleared, bringing them closer and closer to the final victory they sought to protect their world and their loved ones.
Gohan, you need to buy time. I will prepare my best attack to defeat these creatures. I trust you can keep them busy while I get ready. Together, we can change the course of this battle.
Mr. Piccolo, I'll do my best to buy time. My goal is to keep these creatures at bay as long as possible so I can prepare their attack. Trust me, I won't let you down.
The moment of truth was approaching, and Gohan was advancing with a firm step, while Piccolo prepared his best attack to defeat these creatures summoned by Bahamut's disciple and put an end to the darkness that had threatened his home. His fiery determination was a beacon of hope for those who witnessed his courageous struggle, reminding them that strength lies in the unity and indomitable spirit of those who fight for justice and peace. The critical moment came when every move decided the fate of the battle. Gohan, in a last effort, took his final form. With his bright and determined aura, advanced to the front of the battle line, facing the dark creatures with a mixture of bravery and strategy, as he blocked the onslaughts of the shadows with his dazzling ki. The creatures, summoned by Takami, were not easy rivals to beat, but Gohan in his ultimate form took a lot of confidence and began to face the creatures they are facing. Gohan knew that keeping the creatures at bay was crucial to allowing Piccolo to unleash his full power. While Gohan struggled to contain the shadows with his fast movements and powerful attacks, Piccolo concentrated his energy preparing for the most powerful technique. The tension on the battlefield was palpable, but there was no room for doubt. Confidence in their abilities and in their partner was the key to facing the darkness that threatened to consume them.
Gohan, keep it up. You're demonstrating exceptional courage and impressive mastery on the battlefield. Every movement of yours is a barrier that prevents the advancement of these creatures. It's crucial that you hold this firmness for a few more moments while I finalize the preparations for my final ultimate technique. I have full confidence in your abilities and determination. Remember that our teamwork is the key to overcoming any challenge. Keep the pressure on and don't let your guard down. Together, we can turn the tide of this battle and protect our loved ones.
Understood, Mr. Piccolo. I'll not allow them to advance a single step further. You can trust me. I'm fully prepared to take on this responsibility and keep these creatures at bay. Together, we can overcome this and protect our loved ones. My determination's unwavering, and I'll not back down in the face of this challenge, because I know that every stroke I stop here is a step towards victory. Our teamwork and mutual trust will give us the strength to prevail in this battle. Let's show them what we're capable of and write our own destiny in this struggle.
The scene unfolds with increasing intensity as Gohan definitively plunges into the maelstrom of combat. His determination is reflected in every gesture, and every tense muscle, and in every flash of energy that emanates from his being. The creatures summoned by Takami's nightmarish creatures with twisted shapes and burning eyes fiercely advance towards Gohan, seeking to overwhelm him with their numbers and their uncontrolled fury. Gohan, however, is not daunted. His ki shines around him like an aura of power, marking every movement with a clear purpose. When the first creature lunges with sharp claws, Gohan responds with a precise block, channeling his energy to stop the attack with a glowing barrier. The resulting impact makes the ground tremble under his feet, but Gohan remains steadfast, his eyes fixed on his opponent. Each subsequent blow is an exhibition of martial skill and ki control. Gohan moves with grace and speed, dodging the onslaughts of creatures with fluid movements, and countering with calculated blows. His fists and legs turn into bursts of energy, hitting the enemies with force and precision. Each impact causes bursts of energy that light up the battlefield, drawing bright arcs in the air and kicking up swirls of dust around them. The creatures do not retreat easily. Their resistance is stubborn, and their thirst for destruction is insatiable. Gohan is forced to deploy more advanced techniques, combining his speed and strength with concentrated energy attacks. Ki waves cut through the air as Gohan releases bursts of controlled energy, seeking to weaken his opponents and open gaps in their defenses. Every block, every dodge, is a dance of anticipation and reaction. Gohan relies on his training and his intellect, reading the movements of the creatures, responding with precise movements. Your connection to your spiritual energy is evident in every movement, every pulse of energy emanating from your being. Meanwhile, Piccolo completes the charge of his definitive technique, his absolute concentration palpable in the air. The sound of his pent-up energy resonates on the battlefield, adding a layer of palpable tension to the charged atmosphere of battle. Gohan feels Piccolo's accumulated power as a beacon of hope and a call to redouble his efforts.
This is our chance, Gohan. Keep the pressure on them, and don't give them any respite. Every move of yours is crucial right now, as we are close to changing the course of this battle. I trust in your ability to keep them at bay while we prepare our counterattack. Keep your determination and keep going. Together, we can make it happen.
Gohan nods with determination as he prepares for the next attack. The combat dance between Gohan and the creatures reach its climax when Gohan, with a graceful twist, unleashes a series of energy blasts that cut through the enemy ranks. The creatures recoil momentarily, their twisted forms showing signs of weakness for the first time.
Goten! Trunks! I need you to be alert! Mr. Piccolo is preparing a powerful attack! Move quickly and maintain your defenses! Our coordination is crucial at this critical moment of the battle. We can't afford to make mistakes now. I'm confident in your ability to respond quickly and effectively. Stay focused and keep fighting with determination. Come on, we can still turn the tide of this battle in our favor.
The moment came when Gohan, with a precise movement, opened a breach in the creature's defenses, allowing Piccolo to unleash his devastating attack. With a resounding scream, Piccolo releases his ultimate technique, a beam of concentrated energy that cuts through the sky like a fiery comet.
Makankasapo!
The pure energy swirls frantically around the lightning, forming a spiral of controlled energy that seems to dance in the air with calculated ferocity. The extreme concentration of energy causes a burst that radiates a dazzling radiance, as if the sun itself were transcending on the battlefield. The energy beam, with its incomparable power, transverses the enemy ranks with pinpoint accuracy, neutralizing the creatures with an amazing efficiency that takes the breath away of those who witness its devastating impact. The initial explosion is only the prelude to the destruction that is unleashed. The torrent of concentrated energy envelops the creatures in a lethal embrace, eroding their forms with an overwhelming intensity. Each wave of energy emanating from the ray is like a chisel, carving out space itself, gradually disintegrating the creatures that meet its path with an inexorable inevitability. The show is both majestic and terrifying, with the energy displayed manifesting in vibrant colors that collide and intertwine in a chaotic dance. The controlled destruction leaves in its wake a trail of disintegration that seems to defy the very laws of physics, demonstrating the supreme power that resides in the hands of those who master the arts of combat and energy control. The battlefield gradually quieted down, the dark threat dissipating with each defeated creature. Gohan and Piccolo, breathing heavily, but with a satisfied smile, met in the center of the battlefield, knowing that their teamwork and determination had tipped the scales toward victory. Now, with the road to Takamagami clear, they were preparing for the final assault, confident that their union would return their greatest strength. The battlefield gradually quieted down, the echo of controlled destruction echoing through the air as the enemy creatures vanquished before the combined might of Gohan and Piccolo. The glow of the dissipated energy hinted at the near victory, marked by the determination and teamwork of the brave warriors Z, Gohan, and Piccolo. Breathing heavily but with a smile of satisfaction on their faces, met in the center of the battlefield, exchanging looks of complicity that spoke of a bond forged in battle and camaraderie. Meanwhile, in another part of the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta were facing Takagami in an epic duel that defied the limits of known power. With their faces marked with determination and their eyes shining with a fierce intensity, the two legendary Saiyans demonstrated once again why they were considered the most powerful warriors in the universe. His movements were like a whirlwind of quick attacks and precise defenses, each strike resounding like thunder in the energy-charged air.
Vegeta, keep the pressure on! Let's finish this together!
Of course, Kakarot. I'm not gonna let this guy beat us.
The intensity of their confrontation filled the battlefield, making the ground shake with every energy shock. Takagami, although powerful, was in a challenging position in the face of the unstoppable combination of Goku and Vegeta.
I'll not underestimate your power, Saiyans.
I recognize their bravery, but their determination will not be enough to stop me. My strength is unshakable. My power is unstoppable. Get ready to face the real darkness.
Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.
Black girl,